have just been clamoring for
Let's
more
go.
NA talent.
2-0 hat Lexion. 2-0.
Denethor is another example now of
2-0 ins
that
Nest.
happening. So I think if you believe in North American talent, if you've been arguing that this should happen more, you should be watching the Dignitas games and paying attention to what Denethor is able to accomplish, because especially against a player like Impact, he's one of the NA GOATs, but been on a bit of a slump. Like, this is an opportunity for Denethor to have a really cool, statement game. We're already in a pick and ban zone, so let's catch up on that. Vi, Nocturne, and Locke banned away from Sentinel's side. Dignitas banned away the Bard, Lee Sin, and Poppy, and Locke in that J4 first.
Yeah, Locke has been permanently locked out of the games so far. Every
Got
team
first
has
pick.
banned him. We have yet to see him make it through to a single pick phase. With the Lee Sin ban and the Jarvan lock, that makes a lot of sense to start the draft for Dig.
That is an adorable little plushie right there, I gotta say. Sentinels fans showing up here at the Riot Games arena as Ezreal's locked in for Sentinel, so it will still be an AD carry for Rahel, assuming it goes bot lane. I would fully expect that. So it does not seem like Sentinels is going to adopt the mages in the bot lane in the future of League. Now, it's not been 100% around the world mages bot lane. We do still see AD carries pop up in drafts.
Correct. It's going to vary from series to series and team to team. So this is, I think, for Sentinels, you should be more comfortable that they're doing this right now, just trying to take care of business and adapting if they need to, as these are very fast picks for Dig as well. And I believe that's going to be a top lane Jace for Denethor, although we do know it can flex possibly to the bot lane.
Yes, as we just saw in that last series. So the big one that we can highlight, though, already is Orianna plus J4. Classic combo, J4 goes in. Orianna has a clear ball delivery system, 1-2 punch. Now, Ezreal can get out of the Cataclysm, has that mobility, and can even try and dodge away from that engage. So maybe you're looking more at that Nefiri here that was locked in by Sentinels. And, I mean, if you weren't paying attention to the other leagues, you'd say that, nothing's changed in the meta. Sentinels is really leaning back on what's worked for them so far. Tank for the top lane and AD carry for Rahel.
They really want to start out with a win. They're just like, no funny business. We're not going to be going outside of our champion pools. I do feel like every team's going to have a different
Amerikanischer Jason wieder einer.
A little bit about our last series,
Reicht.
Lion versus FlyQuest. Like, I was very surprised that FlyQuest so heavily all into the mages bot lane right away with Ziggs into Sylas, and I don't feel like Masu had the same level of performance he had last split on the AD carries, but here we'll see Sentinels go with a fairly standard opening for themselves. And a pretty standard opening for Dignitas, to be completely honest.
Yeah, true. One thing that I did want to spot from Dignitas, I was hoping that we'd get this, and it seems like we are, is holding top lane pick for later. They can pick it right now because they already see that the Cassante is going to be played for Impact, but I felt that one of the biggest things they need to do with a rookie top laner that's known for carries, get him the counter pick. So he has that now. So it's not being banned out either. Sentinels take away the Ziggs, more worried about what else could go into that bot lane. I'm assuming it could be the Jace top.
Yeah, I believe it'll be the Jace top into Impact's Cassante, and then FBI can just pick a standard AD carry into the Ezreal as well. Kind of interesting how this whole pick ban phase has been very standard. We were ready for all this craziness, Cassio, Vault. I mean, the Lion series was just such a weird
That was a
expectation
ridiculous
setter.
series. What did Raz say? I don't even remember if he said it live.
He said these are not
So Namen im Team, ja, aber die Namen sind halt nicht sehr gut.
This is not a serious
To be honest, ich finde Palafox, Exio, FBI, Igna sind alle nicht sehr gut. Also, ja, straight up. Sind einfach nicht gut.
Victor is now banned away. So, we'll get to learn here soon. The Sentinels will lock in first, but then Dignitas get to show. Is that Jace just going top lane standard for Denethor, or is it going to go to FBI, and they're giving us some spice in the bottom lane? Sentinels yet to lock in a mid laner. Would expect that here, saving the support counter pick.
Absolutely. Darkwings generally excels on control mages. I really did like that Victor ban. I think likely that this Sylas goes mid lane. It has okay ultimates so far with the Orianna and the J4 to be able to steal. It's a winning matchup for the Orianna, but the Sylas can outscale through side lanes.
Okay, but with these hovers, I imagine that that is Jace top. And
Hat FBI nicht mal gut, ne?
in the bottom lane. As they were hovering.
He ain't good.
Yeah, and then immediately they lock in the Caitlyn. All right, there we go. It's right back to the tried and true classics here for Dignitas and Sentinels.
Now, do we get the Caitlyn Karma for the lane prior, or do we get the Caitlyn Alistair to maximize the comfort picks and keep Ignar on an engaged champ?
Or, I mean, that could be a little exciting. They're definitely taking their time picking what the optimal choice is. There's still a lot that can really
maximum
change the
lane
of
prio,
draft, and there it is.
And bad
Caitlyn Karma.
Sylas.
True.
Yeah, it's a little tricky trying to pick.
I mean, an sich ist der Draft von Dignitas überhaupt nicht verkehrt, richtig?
It might be better for Ignar, but the Karma is not going to be giving the best action.
Kein verkehrter Draft.
Interesting draft priority here from Dignitas coming in. It will be Denethor debuting in the LCS, playing Jace top lane into Impact on a tank. Going up against one of the NA GOATs on one of the NA GOATs comfort picks here. This is going to be a bit of a mountain for Denethor to climb now. As it's not necessarily... Well, I don't know too much about the top lane matchup. Would you say that this is like Jace can take over this lane and kind of run away with it?
I mean, one of the reasons we see the proliferation of Jace around the world is because he can win basically every lane matchup if you play it well, but you don't stomp people. You just get small incremental advantages. So are you 200 gold up at 6 minutes, into 400 gold up at 8 minutes, into slowly taking plates and not making because if you do make a mistake in this matchup into the Cassandra,
ja, ich finde den Dignitas Draft sehr solid. Mal sehen.
In his armor stacking, with the only magic damage being Orianna, you have double physical, or sorry, with the, it's the Cassandra can get insane amounts of armor this game very early if you make one mistake on the Jace.
The jungler's 80, the top lane's 80, the 80 carry is an 80 carry, not a mage. So let's see if Impact can get tanky enough or if Dignitas can get their Jace into the game. Welcome to the LCS, Denethor. Welcome back to Summer Split. Sentinels and Dignitas, Riot Games Arena. Let's get ready. Hopping into game number 1 of our second series of the beginning of Summer Split.
As we are loading in, there is a quick pause in the game right now. Perfect timing for it. We can blame Ignar. He's the one who paused it. I'm sure we'll...
They're
already talking to the referees right now.
Well, you never know. Maybe it was a teammate saying, hey, can somebody pause for me?
You know what I'd like? This is an unofficial request to all players if they watch this back. When they pause, if they could just type in all chat why they paused.
Oh, just
there's this whole game of telephone that happens. Where like they talk to the refs eventually relay to the producers relay it to us. But I'm like in the client. They can just tell me why they paused, and I could immediately show it to the viewers.
Well, I'm hearing that producers have told me.
Yeah.
So this is the game of telephone you're talking about. So telephone line number 3.
And now the producers tell you, and you were going to tell me,
and I'm going to tell you, and then you can tell the audience.
Okay.
Is that Ignar loading into game immediately had his E upgraded. So they're investigating that. Can you check right now? Because it is.
Yeah. I mean, the E is skilled.
So not Q. So that Karma starting E instead of the Q, that is not necessarily ideal. They're investigating if it's a bug or a player error. Because sometimes you just hit like the upgrade ability, maybe you click something.
Talia Viable Jungle, ja, kannst du machen.
Okay.
Also Clear Speed ist auf jeden Fall gebufft. Das heißt, du kannst auf jeden Fall jungeln.
Oh.
I feel like...
Okay, and when does it get ranked
at 7 seconds, it gets ranked up.
Feels like a player error.
I don't feel like the game would just randomly do it. So they have the ability to go back and check key inputs.
We'll see. Have you ever done that, Jet? Have you ever accidentally upgraded the wrong one in the lane? I feel like that's a common experience.
I mean, it more happens on... geez, what are some of the champions that automatically have a point of skill?
Well, Karma, technically.
Yeah, well, like Zyra, I think. You can accidentally put a point in the wrong ability and be really screwed at level 1.
Yeah.
Definitely happened.
I'm trying to think, like, is that the worst one you could do as Karma? Because obviously you want the Q, right? Like, that's how you create that lane priority you're talking about.
It's a big deal to be able to have Q at level 1, but you could still get by with a shield at level 1. Like, the value of, like, a Lulu E versus Lulu Q, if I'm taking that comparison, like, Lulu E level 1 is still fine.
And you know what? They could try and bait the Nautilus to engage, not expecting the E coming in. So there we go.
Yeah.
There's a positive spin to this. They are all chatting now.
Just...
Oh no, those are One Piece spoilers. We can't mention that.
You don't want to do a One Piece spoiler?
That's a One Piece spoiler for me. I'm not caught up on the manga, so I don't want to mention that.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody in the audience One Piece fans? Raise your hand. Show of hands.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah, there's a couple. All right, I won't say the spoilers in case anybody's not caught up. Yeah, no, they're even calling them out in all chat that those are spoilers.
Seems like they're remaking because I just got kicked out of the game.
Okay.
So it might have been a bug.
Jet, we have an update. The telephone line is continuing.
Nobody's talking to me.
No one's talking to you.
Yeah.
Well, because you were talking, so they're probably talking to me. And then I had to listen to what you were saying and what they were saying.
Producers just called me a yapper.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But we have confirmation. It was a bug, so not a player error.
It was a bug.
So that's weird. 7 minutes in, it just does that.
I mean, I'm honestly fine with it. Like, if I'm being a real stickler, like, if I was on Sentinels, I'd be trying to argue that it was his fault because I'd love to play into a team that had a Karma E at level 1, but they probably don't even know what the pause is for.
I would imagine not.
Yeah.
I don't think that the refs would update them.
Yeah,
on,
and they have good ways of verifying this as well, so completely believe it. And it's better to see a game with the Karma that has the correct ability.
True. I think everybody will be happier seeing this game play out correctly, especially Dignitas. Because a reminder, I mentioned this earlier when they were walking out, and sometimes it feels pretty bad to poke at it, but they didn't pick up a series win in Spring Split. You know, the old 0-7 caught a couple of game wins in there, but they really struggled during that season, and that's a tough position to be in for a squad that is historically had a couple of highs here and there. Dig Summer, you know, that was a couple of years back now. Can we get Dig Summer again with this new rookie top laner? You're questioning.
I'm just double checking. Because I have this whole thing.
Ja, also einfach weiterspielen.
I can spoil it now.
Vor allem sagst, dass du zu wenig selten spielst.
A little behind the curtain.
Regel Nummer 1 wäre erstmal mehr spielen.
hasn't lost a regular season series all year. Oh. They're like the world champions of regular season. But if if Dignitas has only won a single series the entire year, that's also kind of insane. Because they won the first Ultimate Grudge match against Shopify Rebellion. And yeah, they absolutely were 0-7.
They got a couple of game wins again.
3 game wins, 14 losses, which is actually a
Ihr mich an LCB bringen als nichts. Nee, aber ich nehme dir gerne deinen Prime-Sub ab. Ich nehme euch allen euren Prime-Sub gerne ab.
Also, producers,
oder den Tier 1.
Funny enough, they called you a yapper and you didn't yap correctly there. It's Ultimate Grudge Match Bowl.
Start doch jetzt endlich mal.
You have to add the bowl at the
Correct.
end. Do we even have the stinger? I don't know if we have the stinger loaded and ready.
No, because it's not the Ultimate Grudge match. We can only use it during Shopify.
But I thought maybe our producers were always prepared for it. Because we were promised that if we ever said those words, they would run it live on broadcast.
Only during the Ultimate Grudge Match Bowl. Like
was that stipulated? I didn't hear that.
It just doesn't make sense if you run it in other places.
Well, I agree.
We say it during C9 FlyQuest, and suddenly that's the Ultimate Grudge Match Bowl.
Best to be prepared, Jed. You never know.
It is best to be prepared, but at a certain point, you're just confusing people.
All right, somebody just yelled Kangas in the audience and has a sign right now. It says,
Janni, danke schön für den 5. und ich wieder danke für den 6. Danke euch.
Give me the stunner.
Start this game.
You know, the pause takes a little longer. Maybe we'll resort to that. You know, we'll get me and Jad up on stage.
No. If
we're a new co-caster.
The only person that Kangas stuns is Raz because of his ridiculous physical comedy abilities. I don't know how this guy does it.
Raz can sell a stunner, let me tell you.
He flipped over the back. If people haven't seen this clip, he flipped over the back of the couch and landed on his head and was just totally fine.
And he stayed in that position with his legs up.
You did no practice, you had no discussion, and you just did it naturally.
Both of those were completely one takes. I asked him for the first one, did we want to rehearse this? And he said no. He said, nah, do it to me live.
He might actually be in the wrong profession. It's perhaps, he's a very good analyst.
Yeah.
He's potentially better at physical comedy.
Or it proves that we need to lean more into WWE broadcast style for the LCS. I think we need to get players to do it. I'll call APA out. I told him, hey, go stun Raz. And he said, I'm not going to do it.
He wrestled in high school.
Yeah, he probably would have hurt Raz.
He might have just done a real move.
It's a remake.
Just like Winter Soldier activating. Just like, just going to completely demolish Raz and his whole career. His head's probably not that strong. All right, well, it looks like the players are getting back and ready to hop into game here. So the pause has been sorted. Nice. I imagine we had to go back through either a chrono break or redraft. Regardless.
Yep, had to do a full redraft, but we're back in.
There we go. Dignitas versus Sentinels. Thank you for your patience. Everybody in the audience and everybody back home, we are back for game number 1. And already an early flash.
FBI hat seinen Flash verloren.
Yep, they did the quick little run 3 people bot lane, try and land that first Nautilus hook. End up trading Flash for Flash, support for 80 carry, and now Darkwings is going to be a little bit late to the wave, but should generally be okay.
Okay.
I'm going to check to see if he loses any.
Ja, Toplane sollte dieser Jason bis zum Goldie drauf spielen.
And he's fine.
Being the Nautilus with the Hex Flash, you know, you're kind of fine anyway. You're just going to be going into the brush, trying to get control there, Hex Flashing out. FBI now is in a much more scary position.
Yeah, it's actually a really good play because the Karma Nautilus want to take bush control really early on in the game, so sending 3 people down there, not only were they able to get the flash, they were also able to clear the ward that got placed, so you can see there's no wards available anymore for Dignitas' bot lane.
And already, big chunk onto Ignar means 1 potion down there, answered back onto Huhi, who has not chugged 1 yet. We'll see how that bot lane priority continues. I imagine still the Caitlyn and the Karma, but we heard FBI had some nerves about the upcoming game, so let's take a listen.
Guys, I'm nervous. I feel like my traps are going to look funny.
Don't they look funny when you're not nervous too?
I'm always nervous when I play Caitlyn.
Oh.
I'm 27, bro. Like.
Ja, der ist erst 27, ich bin sein Onkel.
Come on, you gotta give him a break.
Ich bin so ein Onkel.
There? The Caitlin's just like this mechanical god champion. Oh, another nice hook there by Huhi.
Yeah, getting big chunks on Ignar. Yeah, he said my traps are gonna look funny.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're worried about your traps looking funny, just do some shrugs, some like 50-pound dumbbell shrugs.
Junge, okay, danke, Kenkes, weil ich habe nämlich auch bei Traps nicht an die Caitlyn Ws gedacht.
The bigger concern, right? Going the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
that's a bad one. Did you ever see that TikTok account of One Trap guy?
I have. Yes.
Ja, es sieht so schlecht aus. Er sieht legit aus wie ein Mutant. Der Typ, der nur eine Hälfte also halt bearbeitet. Es ist so schlimm. Ich spiele keine Mage-Bot-Meta. Unser letztes Matchup gerade auf Botlane war Silas gegen Jace. AD Carry. Um deine Frage zu beantworten. Wow, Rachel. Uff, ist er aggressiv.
Trades come in. FBI and Ignar back off the worst of it.
Yeah, really interesting counterpunch there from Rahel. The lethal tempo Ezreal scary early on. That was barrier spent by FBI, but here they're going. How about
Ignar's tot.
Well, the root on
Fight is winning for Sentinels.
Damage back out of Hui, and it's first blood to FBI. Traded right back, and it's a double now.
Motherfucker. GG.
Game over. Get on to the Ezreal, so that will be 3. Sentinels winning the bot lane skirmish.
Perfect timing there from Hambach, and he is rewarded with the double kill.
Silas, Jace AD Carry, yeah.
Give one over
Silas versus Jace AD Carry.
at the end, but that whole sequence, if this is actually going to be a 3v3, it's incredibly dangerous for Dignitas and XU to go for this because
Nein, das Ignar da reinflasht, ne?
So they have no way of actually having combat summers for the 3v3. So yes, they get the first blood in, but everyone has already burned Flash by that time.
Wie kann
so it's very easy for Sentinels to clean up the rest of the fight.
Watching that actually.
XU nicht los. XU wahrscheinlich vielleicht der schlechteste Spieler in der LCS jetzt. Er ist insanely horrible. Guck, er ist schon wieder tot. Er ist so fucking horrible.
Darkwings with the kill, now 4-1 in favor of Sentinels.
Yeah, and that's just nice mid-jungle synergy there by Hambach and Darkwings. Palafox unable to...
Timotheus, danke für den Prime auch, dankeschön.
XU without his flash, trying to get a little cheeky on that crab. So Hambach finds him and makes things go from bad to worse. The only...
Sentinels ist nicht bad. Die haben 2 Schwachstellen und komischerweise sind beides die Onkel im Team. Impact und Hui.
Like a rare card pulled out of that pack right there, because he's got the gold lead right now individually over Impact, but everywhere else on the Rift right now is Sentinel's colors. Not by the biggest margins, but still, it counts.
Yeah, and on that note, we'll see how Denethor ends up doing against Impact here, because Impact actually has a long history.
Hui ist tatsächlich bekannt in diesem Team. Also, mein Spitzname für ihn ist der Übersetzer.
He's the welcome party.
It's a very specific stat. The fact that this has happened 6 times.
Das ist für mich nicht mehr als der Übersetzer. Also, das Einzige, was er machen muss, ist wirklich die Kommunikation aufrechterhalten.
Where they came from behind in that game. So we'll see what Denethor
well, Ignar
rest of his team, the start of this game.
Und XU sind halt, also Ignar ist halt einfach alt, die sind einfach schlecht. Keine Ahnung, die sind einfach schlecht.
I think if I read that right, he was 6-2 in his loss to Impact in his debut. Oof. That's tough as the flash from the bot lane. Ignar locked down by Huhi, and with Hambach there for the damage, Rahel can smack him down.
Impact nicht mehr so gut, nein.
Unfortunate that Huhi was the one to take.
Sehr underwhelming, den musst du auf Tanks abstellen. Der ist also total, also in meinem Kopf ist er, also wirklich, ich finde, er ist ein Totalausfall.
You know what, you say
auf allem, was nicht ein Tank ist.
But once he has that locket, saves Rahel's life, looks a lot better. Impact in a 1v1 versus Denethor top lane.
Das ist Top-Lane zeigen, der ist tot.
Denethor is able to walk it out though. Flash forward from Impact, looking for the damage.
Warum flashst du nicht?
Impact says, welcome to the
Bruder, flash doch.
For the solo kill.
Nicely done there by Impact. Denethor greeting his flash there. Really wanted to just be able to reset, knowing that Impact had burned his own flash, but play those games, sometimes you get punished. Couldn't touch.
1:15 sind wir fertig, passt.
Denethor is going to wish that he had used that flash, as Impact is able to snipe the 3rd Intofo strike, and now suddenly that one bastion of hope for Dignitas in the gold department is gone. It's not out of control yet. Sentinels are only 1.3k ahead overall.
Das ist Denethor, ist ein Rookie. Bazuko, danke für den 28. Danke. Nur Liebe.
Let's see if the Dragon is focused here by Sentinels.
Yeah,
he's walking around, not going to go for it.
It is a very concerning start just based off of the team compositions, though a lot of times when you have Karma, Caitlyn, Orianna, the idea of that team comp is you have perma-prio in bot and mid, and then you can be first on objectives and make them walk into you, but they don't have the prio.
Yeah.
So they have mostly just squishy people that can't walk in, and there's a lot of engage options on the side of Sentinels.
Denthor takes a rough trade in the 1v1 top lane again, as Impact will walk forward, just keep him off of the wave. Third and Topo strike, going to be sidestepped, and Denthor's fine. Actually got the wave in. That's very important for the Jace right now.
Rahel is just kind of left on his own at the moment. As Sentinels just take their resets, it will give XU time to take the Drake. So that's a small consolation prize for Dignitas, still being able to get an objective.
They got the priority that time. He was on the roam, he went for a reset, and Karma Caitlyn are able to get the bot wave in. So XU has a window now. It's on Vision because the Scuttle Crab was taken, but Sentinels, they have a couple of people here. They might go for the fight after the Dragon. Smite is secured.
They could slow play this.
They go for the dredge line, lands onto XU level 6. J4's lockdown, Cataclysm stolen by Dark Wings. The Shockwave is there.
Das ist so unplayable, oder nicht?
Down as Sentinels look for more. It's traded.
I don't know, how can we?
For XU.
Actually, Dignitas is going to be completely fine with that.
Yeah.
The minions will be able to get shoved in mid lane by Palafox as well. Good bit of burst they were able to put back onto Dark Wings, and then everybody gets out. So they get the Dragon and a nice 1-for-1 plus the wave, and now they're going to be initiating a swap to send Caitlyn top lane.
Palafox will also get another wave in the mid lane. Let's take another look at that, because the Dragon's secured, but then it's an engage from Sentinels after.
Yeah, I mean, Ezreal cutting through everyone made me really confident in the start, but at the end of the day, like, Rahel couldn't really become involved until the fight was over, and then Dark Wings took so much damage from Palafox during that.
Yeah, it was a great shockwave from Palafox to kind of set up that initial burst damage. Now it's the grub started up by Dignitas. Palafox over the wall. XU will get 2. And Flagon drags out straight into Dark Wings, who he can't follow up, but in comes Hambach. XU just...
Oh, XU, Bruder, bitte. Retire einfach.
Go down for a 4th time this game.
Retire einfach. Es ist fein. Es ist legit fein.
The third, but Sentinels still up in gold, still up in kills, 8-2.
Yeah, nice collapse there by Sentinels. I'm pretty sure that Dignitas is just not allowed to do that. You can't just go straight from Drake into a fight, into running straight to the grub. So I think they were really trying to cheat the tempo right there, and they get caught by Sentinels. Hambach really off to the races now. XU, 4 deaths, still no Sundered Sky, and Hambach is chilling.
Palafox right now trying to catch his mid-wave is who he's hovering around. Palafox is now the one with the gold lead on Dignitas' side, but not by much, as Darkwings will get 1 plate mid. Across the board, it is still Sentinels with leads, and Hambach, the big one. 4-0-3, almost 100% kill participation right now on the Nefiri, and he is just completely smacking XU anytime they meet each other in the jungle, whether it's at the Dragon, whether it's at the Grubs. Hambach is getting fed.
Yeah, absolutely. He had a 90%
Es ist so interessant, oder nicht, dass Rocket Belt einfach so genervt wird, aber es juckt keinen Schwanz und die kommt immer noch. Ich war, was ist Hextech Rocket, was? Die Gold Efficiency.
On Skarner. Wow. Yeah, his Skarner's insane.
In Fearless, he got 10 games of Skarner.
Immer noch 118%, ne? Schon krank.
Mid lane here, Darkwings goes for the 1v1 against
Schon krank.
XU was waiting. Darkwings steals away the Shockwave, but will die to XU. As Dignitas get another kill on the board. Bot lane could be in trouble for them. FBI and Ignar low on health. Looks like Hambach and Hook attempted a dive, but did not pull it off.
With Darkwings down, though, there's got to be a bit of a timer. XU's going to be able to come over, and Palafox has been in fog.
He's on Vision. Hambach and Hook see him, so they know that the J4 is there. As now they'll turn back onto him, but looks like he'll be fine. He flashes the wall, misses the dredge line. XU throws up the angry monkey and walks away as he actually walks back towards them, thinking that they can pincer onto Hambach, but on pursuit over the wall, Hambach's fine.
Really interesting sequence right there. As Darkwings teleports back, Palafox was shadowing, hasn't reset yet.
Ist krass, wie wenig der Mescher macht. Q-Max natürlich auf Silas.
Their presence in this jungle.
Yeah. Huhi and Hambach are walking between the turrets in mid lane here as the wave crashes in. So they're just giving Darkwings so much priority right now to get more and more plates, get the Silas more gold, and try and catch back up to this Orianna.
Impact kind of getting a little bit out of hand in this top lane on Cassante. Plated steel caps completed. They catch Hambach, though, or they're able to defend their Krugs well. So Hambach actually lost a lot of his experience lead in this last little bit. Yeah. Doing all this crossing. He probably spent about a minute not farming. Still hasn't based yet, so he's going to have to clear those camps and recover his tempo a bit.
He basically went from that bot jungle invade to through the turrets up to the top camp.
Das große Problem ist jetzt, wir haben jetzt Losing Top, Losing Mid, Losing Jungle. Wie willst du die Map spielen? Gar nicht, ist die Antwort. Gar nicht.
You would literally just go back to base and buy and then redeploy to your jungle. So you can see him right now, even though his camps are up. He's just going back to base because there's too much gold in inventory.
Wie funktioniert Silas Ultimate Karma? Du drückst R, also du klaust die Ulti, dann drückst du R und dann einer deiner Spells, also dann ganz normal hast du das auch das Menü. Kannst Q, W oder E und dann bekommst du halt die jeweiligen Karma-Spells. Funktioniert genauso wie normal Karma, die benutzen würde. Junge, dann spielt er auch noch Rod of Ages, Seraphs.
Yeah, absolutely. Palafox
has
stabilized that lane.
Müssen wir aber schrotten? Nö, Spell ist okay.
Stayed in the lane aside from the Drake, which is
ich denke, die beste Ulti hier ist Jarvan.
Small advantages anytime Darkwings ends
Jarvan Orianna.
Now we see he's just farming plate gold in the top lane, and it looks like Dignitas is going to concede that Drake.
Yeah, this is Dignitas straight up conceding because they don't have TP on Palafox. He would have had to walk down much earlier.
Aber es sind auf jeden Fall nicht die besten Ultis für Silas hier in dem Game.
He started off walking the dragon and said, you know what, we can just walk top. I don't think that they're going to contest, and they did not. So Sentinels now get a dragon, and they're able to get another way for Impact top lane. It's tied dragons 1-1 right now, but a 1.8k gold lead for Sentinels overall as Denethor getting engaged by Huhi. Darkwings did not have quite enough damage as the Silas, so Denethor will live in the bottom lane.
Flashed away. Yep. Well done.
Jarachel ist auch so geil, wirklich. Der ist so gut.
With the Trinity Force power spike can be very difficult to deal with.
Would you say, Jad, that FBI is playing nervous on the Caitlyn?
I haven't noticed anything.
Yeah?
Although, I don't know, it is a little nervous if I just go back to the early game play to have no barrier, no heal, and then still try and like make a play. It almost makes you a little desperate.
True.
Because you're not willing to accept that things haven't gone well.
As we want to give a quick reminder here, the LCS Championship is going to Gas South Arena in Atlanta, and tickets are available. Scan the QR code on your screen, get your tickets, come say hi. We had mullets for Spring Split. What are we doing for the Gas South Arena?
Gas. We're bringing the gas.
We're going to bathe.
I don't know.
Just pour it on us.
We need to figure out.
We'll do something with gas. There we go. That's actually, you know, I realize there's another type of gas we could lean into, but
I'm not mentioning it. I just said gas.
Then we have to bring Raz along.
You're the one who made it something bad.
Well, I feel like, I just watched Dune.
We're bringing the gas. All gas, no brakes.
All gas, no brakes. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the type of gas we're bringing.
In the South. There we go. Atlanta, Georgia. Make sure to get your tickets. I plan to be there. You going to be there, Jet?
I hope so.
Hope you're there. Hope to see you, buddy. Dignitas right now, the nervous 80 carry, has a backup in the mid lane here. Ignar's hovering around the Caitlyn. Exu's in the top line brush with a control ward, so unspotted, but Sentinels are not going to give them an opportunity to engage. Instead, they are just happy to farm it out. 3 minutes for the Dragon. Herald is now on the Rift, so maybe that's where we look at action, but it's actually top lane. Denethor getting some damage on Impact as a teleport comes in from Palafox, but Impact just walks it out. So Dignitas teleport in Palafox essentially for a 5-man play at the Herald. Yeah, they should be able to get this unless Darkwings wants to make a fight here. He can teleport in if he'd like to. So it's really on Sentinels if they're choosing to do something because they traded up hugely already. They got 2 turrets for this. I think it's fine for them to not go for it. Darkwings gets the
aber ist gut, sie wasten halt Zeit. Also ja, du musst sie nicht bekommen, wie die Caster auch sagen, du musst sie nicht bekommen, aber dann nochmal aktiv Zeit zu wasten, ist sehr geil. Yeah, I mean, look at those lanes already in mid and bot. That's too much that Dignitas sacrificed for that. I really don't like the play to 5-man the Herald. And now everyone resets and Palafox sticks around. Sentinels are now making the play on to Palafox. Damage, ich glaube nämlich nicht. The backup of Ignar here to keep him safe. The shields from Orianna and Karma. Now the Ui, wirklich, du musst einfach weiter übersetzen. Ich mein's ernst. Einfach weiter übersetzen, bitte. Hambak hat noch Flash. Oh. Wow. To the waiting arms of his mid laner. Exu will live. Nicht proaktive Plays machen, Exu, Hui. Reicht. Nice by Palafox. Gigabrain, Palafaker at the moment. Roa build into the Archangel's build, so he's going to be very tanky here. Ja, aber Hambak wird fördern, er muss einen Sven kaufen, hoffentlich, wenn er einen Brain hat. To actually finish off any of these kills, and the fight continues. Yeah, the Herald went down, did not get the turret, and now Darkwings looks for the play up here with the help of Hambak jumping in onto Denethor, but again, the Karma shields. Too much for right now. Dignitas get their top laner and support out of there, but the crucial thing is the Herald was Serpensfang Fürth, sofort.
True.
Only got the plates. 1 plate remaining in the
Humbug.
top lane, as I imagine Sentinels will now get their 3rd turret of the game.
Yeah, and there's still a 3,000 gold lead for Sentinels in this game, so they're still fairly comfortably far ahead. Rahel still working on completing his Mana Mune into a Muramana.
Ja, mit Damage-Problem, ne.
Impact is
Es
still
war
gonna
nicht
be
da. Was am Ende 3-0, ja.
the kill because
Yeah.
the only one
Yep,
who can really
yep,
do damage
yep,
to him is
war es.
Palafox, and Palafox is going to want to use his damage elsewhere.
And he's also, like you highlighted,
Oh, and das ist
your
solid
build.
serious.
This is not the one-shot big burst Orianna build. This is the survive the Nefiri, survive the Silas that are going to be jumping on top of you build.
Yeah.
Impact's going to be nigh unkillable in this game. So, count your lucky stars. If you're able to take him out from Dignitas' side, they're going to have to find some magic to make that happen because Denethor was not able to get that incremental lead you were talking about. When you looked at Jace versus Cassante, it was about these slow advantages you can get, but Impact solo killed him and has now been kind of running away with the rest of the laning phase.
Yeah, he's gone Black Cleaver first, at least, to give his team somewhat of a chance.
True.
If he can shred the armor a bit from the Cassante, then maybe FBI will be able to
Prediction für Div 2, ich habe keine
pepper
Ahnung.
him
Kannst
down
nicht
with the little
einschätzen.
BB gun he's got.
Also wirklich, ich habe da
Tap, tap, tap.
keine Einschätzung drauf.
Pepper and something?
Pepper and something.
Besser als letzten Split.
Like you can put a dash of pepper in like a recipe?
Charakter danke für
Maybe
28
that's
auch,
what it is.
danke.
We'll Google it later.
Yeah. I
Dragon
don't
setup?
know
Oh,
if I've
wanna
heard
stay on
that.
this? Yeah, right?
Ich weiß bisschen, ich weiß
Where does
nicht.
just come from?
Ich meine, ich sag, CGN wird aufsteigen, right?
Sentinels are on the Dragon right now. Dignitas will get a top turret. That is one picked up for them now, and some gold in Denethor's pocket. But the
Schauen wir mal.
second Dragon for Sentinels, as they will now lead 2-1 in the Dragon count here.
I do really enjoy casting with you because we do come from slightly different eras. So there's
Yes.
sometimes there's this huge knowledge gap of culture.
But this is one that we can relate to. Neither of us
How-
have the answer. I was relying on you and your wise elder
But you're the one
knowledge.
who'd heard it.
Well, have you
just don't
you
think-
never heard the phrase pepper? and
I
BB?
probably have, but it does not ring any bells.
Yeah, I know the phrase salt and pepper is where you got like you got a little gray hair in your,
Yeah.
in your hair or in
Diplex-Team
your
ist noch
beard.
gut. Diplex und dann das
I
Scarface-Team
think
jetzt
I
auch
actually
noch,
have more
ne?
than you do. Do you use any product?
On my
You
beard,
can admit it.
use a razor.
Oder sind die nur für
Well, I
diesen
meant
Split?
the hair, but
Shaving
it's okay.
cream. No,
Wahrscheinlich, ne?
not dye my hair.
Yes, it's reaching for something there. Yes, there we go. That's a big
Yeah.
one. 3K gold lead for Sentinels as I think we're just kind of waiting for the next objective to come up. Neither of these teams have really been going for creative engages.
die anderen
We'll
Spieler besser werden.
phrase
Ich
it
muss
there.
nicht
Some
besser
teams
werden.
like to say,
Ich
hey,
bin am
let's just
Chillen.
make action happen and try and invade and take away these camps and then go for the turrets. Nah, these teams have been kind of waiting around for the Dragon, for the Herald, for these more standard objectives to dictate when they're going
Scarface auf mir holen.
For sure, but Dignitas does need to make this a long
Das ist
game
ein
now.
OG
They
Meme.
need to scale
Dank.
up so FBI can become a big carry just with how badly the early game did go for them. So it is on Sentinels to accelerate this game, and they haven't done a great job of
Yeah.
it, but
well,
they're still slowly stacking the Drakes, and that's why they're waiting. The Baron could be something they start forcing, although their Baron damage isn't particularly fast either.
yeah.
Was die Diplex ein bisschen
I will say
eindenken
that
bei
in a
Job
moment,
Life
maybe
in der
I
LFL.
provoked something to happen because Hambach went for the little Raptor steel look, defended by
Meine ich.
Palafox and XU, but still at least was trying. And that's kind of the thing that you can go for with comps like this, is try and go for these invades. We saw Hambach and Hui already attempt that earlier in the game. Would not be surprised if that's kind of what they look for until that next Dragon comes up. Because, like you highlighted, they don't have that Baron damage, right? It's not like they can just burst this thing down if ever Dignitas are on the wrong side of the rift. So instead, just get Hui to link up with Hambach. As what was it, Emily? Her way too early
Yes.
prediction, the hot take, was that they would be a top 2
No,
jungle support.
the best.
Oh, the best.
Emily's hot take is
Stimmt,
that
bei SK war noch.
Hambach
Stimmt,
would be the
stimmt,
best
stimmt, stimmt,
jungle
oder?
support.
By the
Stimmt,
end
bei
of
SK Prime, ja.
So I assume regular season.
War der Roster mit Neon, ja.
Otherwise,
Das Versager-Team.
payoff of
Neon Limit.
Hambach going for another invade now in the bottom jungle. Flash forward from Impact onto Palafox. All in onto the Orianna, but he flashes back.
Was sagst du, Jacko?
Hard to kill.
Trying to block the approach from the rest of Dignitas. TP completed from Denethor. A little late to making a big impact as Impact's able to walk away. Sentinels get out. No pick for them, but also not losing a man. They'll get teleport out of Denethor.
Yeah, Palafox doing a lot of work here, still deathless, and they've made a lot of plays trying to kill him, so he's definitely playing aggressively on these lanes, and Sentinels is going for the plays on him, but they've just been unable to get
Was gerade Jacko gesagt, ja.
Your Orianna build, he's already
More
gone.
action potentially on the bottom side here is who he has the depth charge. Going to flash forward to land it onto Denethor. Darkwing's trying to reposition, cannot get the chains. Denethor is
Boah, Darkwings ist so am Feeden, by the way.
in trouble as XU's trying to chase away Rahel and Hambach on the side.
Also wirklich,
On a killing spree. Hambach will
weiß nicht, was was FBI da macht, aber wow. Darkwings, du bist am Feeden, my brother.
Palafox impacts all alone. Dignitas are finding a play in
Filthy as fuck.
favor as Impact will get shut down by the AD carry. Nervous on the Caitlyn. That's 3 for Dig.
You could see Golden Glue kind of wondering, how did that
Schau, was macht Darkwings?
Going
Was
back
macht
through,
Darkwings
there
da?
are 2 different fights that are happening. Who
Ergibt keinen Sinn.
are trying to fight over in the top side as a teleport comes in from Palafox.
Was hat Exio da gerade gemacht? Oh mein Gott, Exio, du bist so... Oh mein Gott, er ist gerade rausgeflasht.
So long in here.
Alter, was hat Exio da gerade gemacht?
He's going to be completely dead in this fight before the shields
Großer Gott.
from the other side of the fight that Dignitas has won. Flash, heal, shield from Ignar's Karma into Palafox, also being able to add shielding, and they got the kill.
Kill him. Nice.
Nice, exactly.
Ja, Servants-Fan-Kampf für Hambach.
All the shields coming through, and even that initial play.
Wird ein langes Game, ich glaube nicht. Ich glaube so max 30.
When there's a karma
Nach Juli,
that's a
Bimo.
bold play. Even if you are able to land the Abscond Abduct from Darkwings, I think that's kind of tough. So I gotta say, okay, what's going on here? What are we
these
doing?
were spring split takes.
Ja,
Still
Spring
running this
For
one.
Shopify.
We're still old news.
news.
This is old news, Chat. We got a new take.
What's your
this
new
is the summer
take?
take. This is the Palafox summer, baby. Look at that.
Whoa.
4-0-2. I believe. Call it a feeling. Call
this
it
guy.
an inclination. I think Palafox is going to have a glow up this summer. He looked much better in Spring Split from his lock-in debut and much better from last year. So I'm excited for this player, NA mid laner. We don't have many left in the league, but he's showing that he has been improving over the last couple of splits.
That's incredible foresight by Ukangas to be ready with that for this game. and then
That
have
was
it
a
happen.
graphic I requested before he went 4-0.
Yeah, it's not like they could have made that live.
There's
Those
no
things
way.
take a lot of time.
Yeah, exactly. I asked for LCS resources to make that.
Did you caster curse him at this moment, though? Because this is a
I
very
hope not.
important dragon fight
Yeah, could
for
be.
Dignitas. They're still down in gold.
Ja, sag es, Rahel hat noch kein Showchen fertig, also er ist noch nicht super
Have to
gespeckt.
go for this. They could give
It's
it up.
very
It's
hard
only
for
the
them to
third
walk
dragon for Sentinels. Exu's
Very hard.
Kind of locked down
Was macht Exu?
here. Spent a lot of time around that bottom line brush, and the team already walked away, but now we got back to safety. Impact
Was macht der Onkel?
not fully committed to keeping XU in place, and instead it will just be the
wait.
dragon taken by Hambach. Dignitas
Oh.
did not find an angle in, and they didn't even get the mid-wave.
Also Hambach hat Servants-Fan, by the way. Was macht Exio da in der Backline?
Impact's trying to get on top of him as well, but who he actually goes out first, FBI is fine. Hambach will eventually dive through and take down the AD
Okay.
carry as Denethor will fall as well.
Well,
Hambach
gute
and
Aktion.
Darkwing stepping up when Sentinels needed to get onto the crucial carries.
Die Döhle ist so stark.
And Sentinels just
Und er kann Nash soloen.
to full send through everyone on Dignitas right there. XU had avoided a few of the initial engages,
Ja.
and then a massive
Ja, ich kenne echt aus letztes League. Ja, aber ich habe heute auch EU gesehen. War auch scheiße.
Just go straight through to Caitlyn rather than trying to kill this really tanky Orianna, who is going to be building a Zonias as well. Nicely played there by Sentinels.
Let's take another look at that engage.
Okay, ich bin 13, grüß Gott.
Nice hook there by Huhi straight onto FBI. That allows him to pick up that first.
Die sieht groß aus. Hans weiß nicht, dass man seine Vektor-Ulti bewegen kann.
Denethor ends up just being the
So einfach, ich hatte heute wieder zu viel.
So they get the 2-for-1.
Das ist aber nicht schön, dass heute war. Hast du Vitality gesehen, Bruder?
Dive pass. All of the other champions get straight.
Hast du Vitality gesehen?
Almost got out of the initial engage.
Okay.
Now Baron started up here by Sentinels. XU will spot it out with the flag over the wall. Rest of Dignitas approaching from the top jungle here, but they're taking their time. Baron down to 3/4 health, but again, it does not go down quickly against the Sentinels composition. So FBI have some time. Dignitas time to get their AD carry
Very
into
risky.
position.
I mean, they're getting the mid push right now, so I'd imagine they're thinking.
NA ist die bessere Region, Guys. Das hat man bei MSI gesehen. Als die 2-3-0 weggerotzt wurde. Ohne jegliche Chance. Könnt ihr akzeptieren, könnt ihr nicht akzeptieren, aber es ist nun mal so.
Commit to the Baron, and instead Dignitas will have an opportunity now to try and catch these waves.
Und Liquid hat auch KC weggerotzt. Aber die Bottom-Tier-Teams in NA sind halt, also die sind komplett respektlos. Ragebait, warum ist Ragebait?
So he's going to end up being
Team Liquid hat 3-0 KC weggeklatscht.
Okay.
Und Line hat G2 3-0 weggeklatscht. Was ist daran very spät? Aber also Ding ist halt literally Bottom Feeder. Die sind keine Menschen. Das ist halt so wie SK zum Beispiel in der EU. Das sind auch keine Menschen. Oder wer ist noch richtig disgusting? Shifters oder so eine Scheiße. Oder Heretics oder sowas. Es gibt halt immer diese Teams, das sind keine Menschen. So, sowas gibt's halt immer. Ja, machst du nix. Sind das schon immer gewesen? Ja. Noah, danke für den vierten. Aber ihr könnt ja die Resultate von MSI nicht einfach so ignorieren. Das geht ja nicht.
RC is one of these items where in almost every situation, the stat efficiency of the item is just worse than pretty much every other zeal upgrade, but there's just, you cannot fight the feeling of not...
Einer oder sogar zwei Studios sagen nicht, welche Region besser ist, natürlich. Das ist Best of Five. Und Best of Five ist schon sehr aussagekräftig. Zeigt höchstens, dass der Nano besser mithält. Was heißt das mithält, Bruder? Die haben die 3-0 geknallt. Hä? Sowohl KC als auch G2 wurden 3-0 gefistet. Guys, gefistet. Das war jetzt nicht so, als ob das einfach Close Games war, die halt so 50-50 waren. Hä? Die wurden beide komplett in den Arsch gekriegt. Was sind sie, wenn sie keine Menschen sind? Tiere. Tiere, die da spielen. Wie viel Wert wird es EWC geben? Oh, EWC ist für mich Burnout-Turnier. Ich weiß nicht. Also, ist schon sehr viel Burnout. Wir sind einfach nur allein und der Rest ist, ich glaube, Team Liquid ist auch sehr, also, Team Liquid Form bei MSI war, by the way, sehr gut. Aber die mussten halt gegen T1 spielen, ne? Also ich glaube, Play-In-Format war undankbar. They will have Karma and Jace. Those aren't even. KC hat Sentinels geklatscht. Ja, Sentinels ist das 5. beste Team, by the way. In NA. They're just trying to deny the entrance, but it's stolen. Ach so. Ach klar. Ach, natürlich. Impact was over the wall and he almost goes down. Still alive for now. Sentinels now looking for the team fight win since they didn't get the objective. Double kill to Dark Wings. Hambach continues to chase. Hambach is godlike. As he will take down Ignar. It's just Palafox alive under the Tier 2 top turret will flash. Nee, finde ich, habe ich nicht sehr aussagekräftig. Alle haben gesagt, dass die Games sehr fun waren, aber also wie gesagt, ist Burnout-Turnier für mich. Gut, NA gewinnt gegen EU, aber EU gewinnt gegen China und Korea. Wer ist besser? Naja, NA, weil sie gegen EU gewinnen. Ich verstehe das nicht. Was versucht ihr jetzt zu argumentieren? Is going to allow the soul to go over to Sentinels. Watch this one more time. Let's see how he steals this. I mean, I believe Sentinels just fly over the wall and then XU just flies in. Lion war auch knapp, wie Lion gegen... Was Lion gegen G2 war, nicht knapp, nein. Achso, Lion gegen Hanwha war sehr knapp, ja, das stimmt.
Yeah, Flash Smite. 69 Smite Auto. Nice Auto. Yeah. It's the Smite Auto from 14-6.
Nach der Sicht wäre G2 besser als die halbe LCK oder nicht? Das weiß ich nicht.
We talked about no ultimates, right? No Jarvan ult, no Orianna ult. No Caitlyn, Flash or Barrier by the end of this fight.
Wie kann Turnier mit genau einem Best of Five mit irgendwas aussagen? Das ist der Stand der Dinge halt. Ihr könnt es jetzt akzeptieren oder nicht? Bei Worlds gibt es dann wieder ein Best of Five und dann ist wieder aussagekräftig. Aber das ist zu komplett zu... Dann kannst du... Aber... Okay, aber dann kann ich auch genauso sagen, ja, aber G2 Best of Five gegen Genji und T1 und so war einfach ein Flug. T1 wie scheiße performt? Zählt auch nicht. Was ist das denn für eine Argumentation? Ich sag das, nee, bei MSI. War ja auch nur ein Best of Five. Gegen die Teams.
Nice thing is with that Baron, it really denies one of the bigger win conditions for Sentinels. Because like you said, yes, Baron's not what he used to be. But if you have the Elder or the Dragon Soul with the Baron, you can go for the turret dives. You can push the waves in and then really try and...
Ich gebe mir nicht um einzelne Resultate.
Now that they don't have that Baron and game win condition, I think that this game could go on a little bit longer. Like, I don't see a clear avenue for Sentinels to just end the game despite getting...
Was ja auch nicht zu 100% mitgeht, natürlich nicht, aber das ist ja, also, aber du kannst ja nicht das eine sagen und dann das andere gilt dann nicht, weißt du? Also man kann ja nicht dann legitimieren, dass G2 halt T1 geschlagen hat und dementsprechend halt alle sagen, oh mein Gott, wir sind so back, aber dann, wenn Lion sie 3-0 wegknallt, viel härter als T1, dann zählt es nicht, oder wie?
that does still favor Sentinels based on the current game state.
Ooh, Shockwave in the mid lane.
Unless
damage onto the
check ich
Nautilus.
nicht.
They're trying to full send, but he's able to dredge line back to that mid turret.
Wer das Turnier geschaut hat und Hanwha gegen Lion gesehen hat und dann immer noch sagt, dass die nicht besser sind als G2 oder bei dem Turnier besser sind als G2, der ist halt delusional. Also was soll ich euch sagen? Also faktisch war Lion stand MSI einfach 10-mal besser als G2.
The mid laner and top laner left for Sentinels.
Alles andere zu sagen ist halt delusional.
Now Darkwing's looking for the Protobell engage and not going to find it, but essentially a 3-for-3 trade in what looks like.
Lion hatte nur Luck Change, man meinte, da bist du halt obviously Silber maximal.
Made me think the game was
maximal Silber.
But then the late turn by
wenn es dein Takeaway ist von MSI.
Kill FBI, I'm going to have to see again because Palafox ended up kind of taking a bunch
Jeder bisher hat Line hart reingeendet. Wie gesagt, wenn dein MSI-Takeaway ist, dass Line Luck hatte, dann bist du halt obviously einfach schlecht. Und hast damit auch keine Meinung verdient. Weil du kannst die Games nicht schauen und sagen, du kannst die Games von Lion nicht gesehen haben und dann sagen, die haben Luck gehabt. Also das ist crazy.
Just gets hit by the EQ and the Jace walking up and auto-attacking him. Big 1,000 gold bounty over to Denethor on the back end of that fight.
The traps.
Können wir das Game reden, please? Warum? Sentinels wird das Game gewinnen. Man hat mal gute Tage, mal schlechte Tage. Deine Meinung ist useless. Bitte hör auf zu argumentieren.
That time he used it onto Palafox, and then FBI got like 4 more autos off there as a invade happens from Hambach. He's actually able to, I believe, smite that away. Yeah, he's able to take away the red buff.
Weil nach dem Argument hatte dann, lass mich überlegen, hatte G2 einen schlechten Tag gegen Hanwha und dann einen schlechten Tag gegen Lion. Während dann Lion einen guten Tag hatte gegen G2 und dann einen guten Tag hatte gegen Hanwha. Moment mal. Geile Logik. Auf jeden Fall. Mies geile Logik. Und weil du nicht das akzeptieren willst, ist dann das nicht aussagekräftig, weil dann ist es nur ein schlechter Tag. Okay, checke. Checke. Und dann G2, die 5 Games gegen Top Esports gebraucht haben, die dann von Team Secret Wales weggeknallt wurden, die dann 3-0 von Lion komplett gefistet wurden, das ist dann auch wieder nur ein guter Tag gewesen von Lion. Okay, ich checke. Ja. Checke. Weil sehen möchtest, ein Lion ohne den Spell hast du letzte Series gehabt. Die lieben dann zu fighten auf einmal. Wenn der Diktator nicht Ansagen macht. Bei einem Meta-Fuck-Up, was da passiert ist, hat eh keiner durchgeblickt. Ah, LCS konnte es gut ausnutzen. Dann lass doch mal actually schauen. Der Meta-Fuck-Up in question. Oh, was macht denn Sentinels? Oh mein Gott, Rahel lebt. Nein, Exi, du bist so bad. FBI takes down Darkwings regardless. Sentinels get the ready to carry out, but they will lose their mid laner. Hambach will take down Denethor. Okay, der Meta-Fuck-Up in question also. Super Standard kommt von beiden Teams, by the way. Komplett Standard. Okay. Beide schon ewig gespielt. Meta-Fuck-Up, Nummer 1. Meta-Fuck-Up Nummer 2. Normale G2 kommt mal wieder. Komplett Standard G2 kommt. Meta-Fuck-Up Nummer 2. Okay. Und dann lass mich raten, der Meta-Fuck-Up Nummer 3. Ah, okay, wieder eine komplett Standard G2 kommt. Und von Lion. Riesen Meta-Fuck-Up in der Series. Mieser Meta-Fuck-Up, aka. Sie haben einfach gespielt wie das ganze Jahr über. Also insaner Meta-Shift, die in der Series gespielt haben. Du, wie gesagt, du bist Silber. Und ich akzeptiere das. Irgendwer muss Silber sein, aber bitte hör auf zu reden. Weil deine Meinung nicht valid ist. Was macht Sentinels? Oh. Ja genau, es wird nur die Series gegen... Oh. Was? Was Sentinels? Die haben verloren. Lol.
In a 39-kill banger, it looks like Dignitas
G2 hat nicht gut adaptiert und sehr Comfort gespielt. Ja, aber der Line doch auch! Was ist... Bitte, Guys, hört auf zu ragebaiten. Das ist wirklich 0 von 10. Ich lasse mich hier angeln, aber es ist 0 von 10. Was machen die? Finishen.
But they just lost track of the Fed Orianna and completely ignored him out of the stasis. He gets the shockwave. Dignitas get the team fight. They don't need the Elder Dragon. They already had the Baron. They're just gonna barrel it down the bot lane here. 4 members strong. Who he's trying his best, but he will not be enough. Dignitas showing up with a win in Game 1 of Summer.
Is it in fact Palafox Summer? 8-1-9-11, a 95% kill participation on the Orianna for Palafox.
I have never felt more validated for a graphic request in my life. Palafox hard carrying that game. The one with the gold lead throughout and the one to clutch the.
Du kannst Hansama 6 nicht Classic nennen. Hä? Ja, natürlich, aber Ash und Yunara schon.
Is it or is it not Palafox Summer?
It's obviously Palafox.
Und Hansama hat in seiner Karriere schon einen 6 gespielt.
Yes, exactly.
Natürlich, er ist ein absolut horrible Mage-Spieler. Er ist ein unglaublicher horrible Mage-Spieler. 5 Games davor? Wie 5 Games davor? Was? Hallo? In der Lion Series. Ash Game 1, Yunara Game 3. Hä? Der hat 6 Games in History. Ja, natürlich, aber hallo, Game 1 und Game 3. Also, okay, maybe. Sure. Sure, aber Game 1 und Game 3, also, wir können doch nicht, also, bitte. Also, er ist ein horrible Mage-Spieler. Er ist ein absolut horrible Mage-Spieler und er hat keine Ahnung, was Champions machen. Ich check doch, ja, er hat keine Ahnung, was Champions machen, die nicht AD-Carries sind. Das ist, also, ihr müsst ihr mal zuschauen, das ist gestört, das ist wirklich gestört. Er hat keine Ahnung, was überhaupt um ihn herum passiert, wenn der Gegner Champion kein AD-Carry ist. Das stimmt schon. Aber wenn ich Hans Sauer bin und ich sage, ich kann kein Six spielen, dann picken wir nicht Six. Aber offensichtlich haben die ja Six gespielt, also muss da ja irgendwas, also das muss ja fein sein. Er ist ein guter AD-Carry, also don't get me wrong, er kann ein sehr, sehr guter AD-Carry sein. Mein Problem mit ihm ist wirklich, dass er halt einfach, also er weiß halt einfach oftmals, er ist wirklich ich hab's wirklich das Gefühl, er ist wirklich überfordert. Er ist legit Ego-Yasuo-Pick, aber also der hat den doch öfters gespielt schon, das ist doch nicht Ego. Das ist doch nicht Ego, wenn die den häufig gespielt haben. War es ein guter Yasuo-Pick? Naja, nicht wirklich, right? Aber also ist jetzt nicht so, weiß ich nicht, also das ist halt sein Pick into, na, was soll ich hier sagen? So, also das ist jetzt nicht so, als ob er das First Hand hat. Guys, der hat 7 Games dieses Jahr. So. Schnauze, Pancake. Der Draft soll keine Ausrede sein, aber das war jetzt kein schlechter Draft. Die waren einfach schlechter, Guys. Also, okay, der Draft hier, maybe. I mean, honestly, ich fand den Draft nicht, ich fand, also, das hier war eine Vollkatastrophe. Game 2 Draft, das war eine Vollkatastrophe, meiner Meinung nach. Keins davon war gut. Das ist auch wieder Cap, by the way. Mann, ey. Wirklich, ihr schaut entweder zu viel oder ihr redet wirklich liebend gerne aus eurem Arsch raus. Das ist kein einziges gutes Game. Moment. Hier. Das Game, by the way, hat er gefistet. Das Game hier war fein. Und wenn ich mich recht entsinne, war das Game hier auch nicht sein Bad. Bitte. Und das Game hier war auch sehr gut. Da nehme ich auch dran. Game 2 Draft war einfach Dogshit. Die Game 2, dieser Draft hier ergibt keinen Sinn. Also ich fand den Draft, wie gesagt, den Draft hier fand ich nicht gut, aber ja. Ist einfach delusional. Wie gesagt, wenn ihr MSI angeschaut habt und euer Take ist immer noch, dass das Stand jetzt EU besser ist als NA, dann kann ich euch nicht helfen. So, dann liebt ihr es einfach, in eurer eigenen Welt zu leben und das ist okay. Wie findest du die individuelle Leistung der Spieler der Teams? Naja, also offensichtlich Inspired ist bester Spieler im Westen. Gefolgt von Caps. Das ist okay. Ich fand, Doke hat weit über meine Erwartungen performt. SEN und Berserker sind sehr legit. SEN und Berserker sind sehr, sehr, sehr legit. Also das sind wirklich sehr gute Carries. Bei First End noch war ich sehr kritisch von Saint. Der hatte echt, also bei MSI, Entschuldigung, bei First End hat er wirklich nicht gut gespielt. Wo war es denn hier bei... Hier, bei First End war ich sehr kritisch von Saint. Ich fand, der hat bei MSI 10-mal besser gespielt. Fand so als bei MSI auch über meine Erwartungen performt, to be honest. Immer noch manchmal braindead, aber über meine Erwartungen performt. Du warst größte Metator im Pro-Play, natürlich war der GOAT. Der GOAT. Und ich hatte auch immer so One-Trick-Sessions, Moment. Hier eine kleine, boah, nee, lass mal das skippen. Das juckt ja auch wirklich niemanden. Hier ein bisschen Lilia, dann hier sehr viel Wukong, dann ein klein bisschen Volibear. Immer richtig schön. Und dann hier hast du hier Volibear Sinsao, eine schöne Sinsao-Streak, super. Nur Sinsao. Das war klasse. Dann, wo ist das Graves Game? Ein Graves Game gegen Big hatten wir auch noch hier irgendwo drin. Moment, wo war's? Hier. Schönes 14-2 Game gegen Akabane, der war fucking horrible. Rest in Peace. Da hatten wir hier ein bisschen, da hatten wir hier wieder Volibear, dann hatten wir hier eine kleine Olaf-Streak. Classic. Ja, hatten wir hier wieder Lilia, ganz viel Lilia. Hatten wir hier eine schöne Runde Nocturne. Ja, ihr seht es immer, ne? Es gab immer schöne One-Trick-Seasons. Immer schöne One-Trick-Sessions. Wo war 2019? Moment, 2019. Hier hatten wir richtig schön bei EMEA Masters LFL Spring. Schön 10 Games Olaf am Stück. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 Games Olaf am Stück. Classic. Hatten wir davor eine schöne 3er Rek'Sai Session. Hier hatten wir eine Nuno OTP Session. Ja, das war toll. Caslow, danke für den Prime. Ja, dann bei EMEA Masters sind wir reingekommen, hatten wir eine schöne Rek'Sai OTP Session. Auch Classic. Und dann Gragas. Into Sejuani, das treue Schwein. Ja, hat immer schöne OTP-Sessions. War super. Dann bei Spandau war, nee, warte mal, hier war Spandau Season 10. Nee, hä? Ach, das war Maus. Warte mal, Season 12 war Spandau. Bei Spandau hatten wir ganz viel Sensauer. Das war super. Da haben wir auch jedes Game gewonnen, das war krank. Das war jedes Game beim Drake Minute 5. Misfits Kalt wurde versteuert, natürlich. Habe ich auch in Deutschland gelebt. Wir haben bei Misfits nicht in Frankreich gelebt. Da waren wir in Charlottenburg. Ja, ich glaube, mein unpopular Take momentan ist, dass Genji immer noch das beste Team der Welt ist. Wegen Office von LCS-Team, ja. Ist mein unpopular Take. Mal sehen. LCK Woche 1, by the way. Genji gegen DK und Genji gegen T1, glaube ich. Ja, Genji T1 am Freitag und dann Genji DK am Samstag, also geile Games. Wer spielt morgen LPL und LEC wieder? Sowohl als auch ja. Und LPL hier. Und LEC ist das. Unpopular Tag, sie nennen es nicht. Das ist ein sehr popular Tag. Sie nennen soll sich ficken. Denkst du, morgen werden Sven und Upper für mindestens ein Game gebencht? Sven und APA werden morgen kein Game spielen. Der Roster, bis auf weiteres, ist, soweit ich es mitbekommen habe, Loki und Tactical. Ja, Casper Cup ist Mickey Mouse. Ist schon confirmed? Nein, aber das kann ich euch, also nicht nicht public confirmed, nein. Aber es ist confirmed. Casper Cup ist quasi DFB-Pokal.
Hello and welcome back to opening weekend of the LCS Summer Split, presented by MasterCard. We got Sentinels versus Dignitas Game 2 as Dignitas coming into summer hot with a win over Sentinels in Game Number 1.
Ja, Plan für morgen früh, außerdem ich mache Stream um 9 an, aber ich werde definitiv schlafen werden, gemeinsam nochmal ein Powernap.
85% kill participation, 8, 1, and 11, 19 of the 20 kills for Palafox. And it was funny, we heard the comms, if you were watching during the commercial break, where at the end of it, FBI's like, woo, Palafaker! And he's like, sorry guys, I was a bit of a KDA player this game, which was kind of true in the early game. He was prioritizing his own farm rather than making it to river fights. But at the end of the day, if you're going to carry the game, I want more of that out of Palafox. I want more.
Morgen früh, Digga, AZB, halb 3 heute? Nee. Oder? Ja, doch, könnte.
Ends up defending himself from criticism. He's saying like, oh, I might have been 1-6 or I might have been 80 CS down, but I was doing it for the team. No, brother, just carry the game.
Yeah.
Right? Bring your team to victory, and that was a beautiful game won by Palafox.
Also, we got to figure out, you know how like Superman, he's got his glasses? Do you understand how like in lore, they're actually hypnotizing people so that they don't know he's Clark Kent?
Oh,
people are always like, oh, how could you not tell? It's him. It's just the same guy in glasses. But like, no, they're like hypnotizing people. Like magic glasses. Somehow he unlocked that in game so that they wouldn't see him at the end there when he was in stasis. I'm still claiming
They just all dived.
They all dived past
Run
the
it down
Orianna
to
in
Caitlyn.
stasis. And then he comes up and just hits the shockwave on everybody. That was an incredible way to end that one. So hey, it worked out for Dignitas. Palafox Summer. Is it real?
I mean, listen. Dignitas has won one series all year. It was in lock-in. They were 0-7 during last split. So I want to be able to give them their flowers while they're up, just in case. So
you never know what's gonna happen.
I do feel like Palafox in particular was playing quite well in lock-in.
Yep.
But not well during Spring Split.
Oh,
and I think because they played bad during Spring Split, it's been lumped into his entire year being bad. But I do feel like he started strong, and maybe if they were having a lot of disagreements between Photon and Palafox, removing that could actually allow him to play a better game. Being really cope here, really Dignitas positive, but that's a possibility.
Hey, I mean, why not be positive? They got the win. They were behind for a lot of the game, but what matters is the tick mark at the end. That's in favor of Dignitas on our screen. Let's catch up on the pick and ban so far. It's Poppy, Skarner, Lee Sin banned away from Dignitas side, and no surprise, Lock with the Nocturne and the Vi ban from Sentinels because Dignitas having first pick. Lock's off the table. I do not expect to see that this weekend. I think everyone's going to be banning that. So it is Syndra locked into Denethor.
Yeah, a couple of, at this point, flex picks. So could be Syndra, Victor, anywhere on the map at the moment. We saw very standard bot lanes and draft overall in game one, but I don't know if that is going to stay the same, especially with these two initial picks. Like, if you're going to first pick Syndra, you're almost always willing to flex it.
Exactly, yeah. Denethor's locking it in, but we expect that for Palafox or FBI.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you look around the world, like, expectation could be FBI, but if you're looking at Palafox's last performance and he says, slam me Syndra, I'm slamming him Syndra. I'm letting my mid laner pick it after that level of carry performance. The answer is Victor and Bard on the side of Sentinel, so who he gets to pilot, well, Bard.
Palafox Syndra, here it comes, because they're definitely just running a standard bot lane Lucian Melio.
Not even holding it as a flex is interesting. But what I will say is that if you didn't hold this as a flex, you kind of have to lock in.
Oder woher hast du das denn?
Because if you pick your support, you
The
don't
fuck?
know if you're going to be going AP with that. So I think going out along the lines of give Denethor the rookie top laner counter pick still could be the angle here. So I don't hate it, but it does mean that Dignitas are 2 games in a row now not going for the mage bot. 2 games in a row now, Sentinels not going for the mage bot. We have traditional AD carries for both of these comps.
Traditional bot lanes, traditional NA mid laners playing control mages against each other.
Yeah.
This is real League of Legends here, Canvas.
This is League of Legends as Freak. David
Der
Freak
Film hier
told me
gut, der Originalfilm.
This is League, baby. Does Freak season only?
It's
Oh wait,
funny,
what? Photo cards.
Oh
We're opening
my God, I'm on the
photo
cover.
cards.
No.
Oh, we're not gonna watch
Oh!
it. No,
Gotta
we
wait
gotta
for
get
the
the camera
pack
back.
opening.
I gotta know what they open. Can you
no.
show it to me? Where are they? Okay, the camera's going back. Hopefully we get that back on camera. I gotta know what they actually pulled. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, here we go. Okay, we got Dark Wings.
Those are
Okay,
beautiful.
Umbach, Impact.
Are those Sentinel
That's just everybody.
specific player
That-
cards?
oh.
That's awesome.
Look at who he's.
Oh, viel zu starker Akteur, ja.
Now they can't get swept after that.
Oh, is that a foil? Look, it's shiny. I think that's a
That's
foil.
really nice.
Let's go.
Ja,
Can I get a
ich
Sentinels
seh.
player pack? I need a booster pack. I gotta talk to somebody at Sentinels after this.
Yes, you do.
All right, well, there's a man on screen right there. He's going to be piloting the Bard, one of my personal favorite champions, not only to play but also to cast. I just love how flexible that champion can be, and I honestly love it into things like the Melio because you're able to catch out Melio out of position with your Temper Fate. Suddenly,
true.
that's a very dead, squishy support.
Yeah, can be a very good pick if you get ahead. I do think the Lucian Melio, though, has exceptional scaling, and we'll need to see a lot of damage coming through for the rest of Sentinels anytime you're running Jhin. Victor himself does have exceptional scaling, so I already like that 1-2.
Wie hast du gemeint, gewonnen,
I
ja.
also want to highlight, typically a Jhin this early I don't love because you can just pick tanks into it, but
Habt ihr genug Gras von der Wand? Ah,
Denethor
bestimmt.
locking in a tank.
Sure.
Maybe XU would. It hasn't been, you know, in the meta for a while, but maybe something like a Sejuani. But like when I think of Denethor, I think of the counter pick. I'm like, I want him on a carry top laner. I don't want to see Denethor on these, you know, more stable tanks. And they're going to save counter pick for impact on Sentinel side. So this puts Dignitas in an interesting position. Do they want to give Denethor one of his more carry-oriented top lane champions just to give him comfort on stage? Or do they say, no, let's lock in the beefy tanks to make this Jhin regret their decisions?
Yeah, and really interesting that Hambach just locks in the Kiana right here. There were a number of jungle bans in the 4-5, but this is actually the pick he played in his LCS debut when they were playing Sentinels versus DSG. He won with it, hasn't played it since. He actually didn't look amazing on the Kiana, but he won with it, so
Yeah.
it counts.
He gave us so much hope that like, oh, it's gonna be
Big wins in this economy, abwarten.
Denethor just has to blind pick, so they give him
Yeah.
Gnar. I think it's a very safe, solid blind pick for him.
and it's still in his top 3. It was Camille, it was Gnar, it was Gwen, are the 3 that he's kind of known for coming in up from NACL. So if you're going to pick one of those as blind, I think Gnar does make a lot of sense. Let's see what the jungler is now for XU. Still some kind of frontline, won't feel bad, but it's Pantheon. It's conditional frontline.
Very squishy team
Yeah.
right here. Got to be very timely with your engages. They're kind of relying on Syndra stun or a really timely Pantheon ultimate, so it's going to be tricky. Or going to have to play very well.
The rookie top laner to have a great Gnar game. If he's able to get in, land that Gnar ultimate,
Yeah.
that could be also a tool to start off the fight. And that's a lot of pressure then, but also a lot of faith on a player like Denethor. So let's see if he's able to step up in the moment. Sentinels still have their counter pick in the top lane for impact.
Okay.
What's the veteran going to play? And it's
Okay.
Malphite. Oh boy.
There
Ja, der Onkel auf einem Tank.
Sentinels
Guck mal.
is locked in onto Impact.
Guck mal, das macht mich schon glücklich.
Interview from Impact earlier.
Der Onkel auf dem Tank. Hat Sentinels einen Doppelagenten? Ja, top und Support.
Yep.
And then here we get Cassante
Sentinels
Malphite
draft supi.
in the first 2 games. But again, a lot of physical damage. Palafox's Cinder, the only magic damage, so a pretty good slot to be able to pick the Malphite here if he's able to get ahead of the curve of the game. Can become unkillable once again.
And I will say, Syndra, you know, not quite as good at going for the tankier build. So
Yeah.
I'm imagining Palafox will have to go for more of a damage build here, and that means it could be susceptible to getting one shot by the Malphite engage again.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of how this composition is supposed to work here for Impact. Like, he can stack armor, and then because of the immobility of Syndra, that's who they're trying to kill.
Yeah.
And then there's nobody to kill the Malphite.
Exactly.
So very nicely strategized with that Malphite pick.
Let's see if he's able to pull it off here. As Sentinels down 0-1 in the best of 3 to start off summer split. They had a top 3 finish in lock-in, finished 5th out of 8 teams in spring. So a downward trajectory. They're hoping to correct that course now As Dignitas picking up a game win and potentially their first series win since the lock-in tournament. Putting a lot on the back of Denethor, the rookie top laner, to find those engages, to find the avenues in for the team to follow up. And Palafox in his summer split here to have another big carry performance. Let's see if Dignitas can pull it off or if Sentinels can put some brakes on the hype train of Dignitas. Sentinels versus Dig.
Very underwhelming game
Dankeschön.
for Sentinels. They
Guten
had
Apogee.
the lead, couldn't quite close out the game.
Also ich finde Syndra super OP, aber der Draft von Sentinels sollte funktionieren können. Wie hat Sentinels verloren? Gute Frage.
Would love to get a win. They were unable to get a win throughout all of spring. But we're not in spring anymore. We're in fact in summer. Could be Palafox summer. We'll have to see.
All right, well, I just requested something from production because I'm going to also request another thing. We got to run.
It's a lot of requests.
It one more time.
We got to run.
The Palafox summer.
It is Palafox.
Is it true that it's Palafox summer? And I have a question for Twitch chat because everybody on the broadcast, everybody on social media, my own family brought it up.
They were like, I can't believe Palafox is still
You're pretty wrong about Shopify Rebellion. But then, hey, look at this. This next take, Palafox Summer. Is it true? I'm going to ask for a Twitch poll right now. Let's see if
Rachel wird das carryen, ja.
fans believe me.
That's a good
It is
request.
Palafox summer now.
It's a Palafox summer.
Rachel wird dieses Game carryen,
Simple
indem er
ask.
nicht geübt
Let's
wird.
ask Twitch.
You have
See
to
if they
decide
agree,
now.
so.
You have to be a prisoner of this moment.
No, you cannot wait until after the game. In fact, let's not even wait another few moments, as he's already taken a big chunk from Dark Wings.
If this works out, and if Dignitas is back, it would just be crazy. Because they've had such a long run of finishing last place. And XU giving an interview with the week left in Spring Split, saying as a team you either need to like each other or respect each other, and this team has neither. You feel like the wheels are falling off. You think either XU or Palafox is gone for sure. But if they've managed to work through it, if they've switched out Photon for Denethor, if their team cohesion and vibes are better, we heard some of their comms, they're laughing during close, stressful late-game team fights. It would actually be such an incredible turnaround. But
Geil ist von Dark Wings hier. 1-2 verloren, nein. Die haben 2-0 gewonnen, aber in Spite war nicht da. Also in Spite ist die ersten 3 Wochen nicht da.
For the majority.
They gave up soul.
That's the best part of this entire hype that we have. It's like they were like one team fight away from just losing that one. I'm also hearing that the Twitch poll has concluded 51% agreed. Yes, it's Palafox Summer. Let's go, baby. That's a majority. That counts.
It is a majority. They'd win the election with that.
It would.
In fact.
Yeah. Palafox for president. As right now he teleports back into the mid lane here. Picks up just the refillable potion and the amp tome. As XU actually went for an invade here. He's going to be spotted out by Hambach. Was going for the reset, as now they're just going to be scrapping with each other.
Longside advantage, oder nicht?
No red buff for XU, but still able to just push him back because Palafox was there much earlier than Dark Wings.
Palafox hat weh, right?
Now,
Aber,
Dark Wings is back and Hambach isn't.
aber die gewinnen das doch nicht. Hallo, Exi, du hast by the way einen Longside weniger, I'm just saying.
Yeah, the Hambach actually went for the reset already, as XU actually will be able to
Flash von
some
Hambach.
of the camp and get out to safety. Now let's see if you can actually go for the reset here, because Hui's even walked up. Hambach could
Das
just
ist ja jetzt
his
halt.
own invade, but
Hä?
no camp's top side. I imagine XU should be
Er
fine.
ist tot.
He's gonna go for the reset. I don't think he saw that blast.
Oder dann Flash los.
Oh,
Nee,
Hambach's just
geht nicht dafür.
gonna reset
Yeah,
too.
Nar is missing, so Hambach can't really go.
Okay, actually gut. Ja, mit dem Nahing, gut.
Dignitas. Not only do they just yoink the Raptor to take it out of smite range, for XU, they wasted a bunch of Hambach's time, and then also Huhi's Bard Roam ends up coming over and doing pretty much nothing, so they ended up getting a whole bot wave in as well. It's a small little win for Dig.
Not too bad to start things off. Doesn't net a big gold lead, but hey, it's at least a early game advantage for them. Also, early game advantage for Denethor. He's got the range matchup into the Malphite. Until the Malphite can get enough armor, it can be tough. And a reminder that this is an official update on Impact with his debuts versus rookies, or rather rookies' debuts versus him. That's the second win. Denethor's the second top laner to ever debut and beat Impact in his debut. As Hambach's going for a play mid lane here. XU's matching, and Hambach should be fine.
Was haben Mr. Reddit Dirk auch nicht, wenn ich hier bin. Wie zufrieden bist mit der heutigen Performance in einer Noah?
Control mages, seeing who can get the most mid
Nocturne Game war gut. Nach 4 Game war gut. Nee, nach 4 Game war actually disgusting. Aber es liegt nicht an mir, es lag an dem Hurensohn Jungle Pad, das mir den Rap-Off resettet hat, obwohl es nicht hätte resetten sollen. Und was habe ich danach noch gespielt? Sinsao? Sinsao Game war auch gut.
See how much of this mid lane Palafox is able to catch as it's the cannon wave. So should be able to get all of this. Steals away the cannon and will just take that for himself. Now Denethor hits level 6, impacted.
Solo Q, juckt. Solo Q Games ist disgusting, wird auch nicht mehr gespielt. Warum ultest du da raus? Was? Oh, wegen... Hat er ihn gesehen, den Panther?
Okay.
Yep, no ult down for impact. I mean, he's not trying to dunk the Gnar early. Gnar's definitely going to have the range advantage early on into a Malphite. He's got the Warden's Mail already. He's going to be stacking up more and more armor. The fact that he's only down 12 CS, you can definitely use your first ultimate defensively before making anything happen.
Yeah, for sure. Unstoppable Force has a pretty, reasonable cooldown as well, so it's not going to be gone for that much longer. But decent record here you see for Denethor as a Tier 2 player. Had a positive win record.
War es ein Reset-Bug von Jungle Camps? Nö, das Pad ist einfach Trash gecodet. Mein Jungle Pad hätte den Wrap-Off killen sollen, hat aber kein Damage gemacht und das passiert halt sehr regelmäßig. Das ist komplett Trash. Weil super inconsistent, also super inconsistent. Wie gesagt, so Eierfladen, das Villain am Lockpender? Nee, die Gegner waren, also individuell waren sie okay. Aber deren Map-Play war horrible. To be honest. Also ich habe jetzt nicht so Stress gehabt. Und warum auch immer haben wir echt gutes Makro, also ganzen Playoffs über sehr, sehr gutes Makro gespielt. To be honest. War ich sehr glücklich mit. Denkst du, er nur gegen Main VfB gewinnen? Nö, ich glaube nicht.
Yeah, I know this is a bit of a strange.
Wäre es erlaubt, ein Streamer-Team in die erste Liga zu bringen? Ja.
But I feel like he is the most insanely good laner in losing matchups.
Yeah?
Like I think his laning is criminally underrated when he's in losing matchups. So because like how do you become such a good weak side tank player?
Ja, ich glaube, das ist so ein guter Mix aus Brücki. Brücki hat sehr viel Arbeit reingesteckt in Solo-Support. Und ich habe auch versucht, so gut wie möglich immer halt zu micromanagen, was ich machen will. Ich glaube, es ist so eine Kombo. Ja, bei mir, ich merke es immer selbst, so, wenn, ganz großer Unterschied, wenn ich Bock habe und wenn ich keinen Bock habe. Hört sich richtig, also das hört sich richtig disgusting an, aber ist so. Riesenunterschied.
As he's actually rotating down the river here. Flash out from Darklings as the Grand Starfall is used.
Oh mein Gott, der hat sein...
Looked like he was going for the stun and Darklings...
Was hat er? Hä?
He's not able to get out of there and that's Denethor with First Blood.
Also finde ich wirklich für die anderen Teams, dass ihr häufig unterschiedlich Roster habt, da wären mehr gute Spieler einfach in dem Roster. Also ob da jetzt ein Karma reinzappt oder ein Humelu oder jetzt auch mal ein Tolly dann quasi zappt. Ist ja alles, also... Wir haben Games ja sehr selten einfach durch hartes Lane-Stompen gewonnen. Ist einfach gutes Map-Movement. Hätte ich jetzt behauptet. Ohne mich jetzt genau an alle Games erinnern zu können. Darkwings hat einen Stinker.
Xy's gonna go for another once again. On a Hambach, yeah, I mean, Darkwings went all the way down as Hambach's going for the ultimate onto Xyu, trying to take the trade here. Xy's trying to just get his mid laner to join in, throws up the Aegis Assault.
Palafox hat kein Flash, der ist auch noch tot. Wer bleibt von Hambach? So kann ich spielen, sagst du? Nein, das hat gar nichts mit Kranich zu tun.
Yep, for Hambach. I'm not sure if Xy's E was on
genauso
to block basically any of the damage by Hambach, and then because Palafox with no flash was moving up the river to try and defend him, he ends up dying as well. So all the good work that Xyu and Palafox had done up until this point kind of goes away with Hambach finding that play.
Yeah, Edge of Ishtel perfectly timed there from Hambach right at the end of the Pantheon E, so that the damage immunity is not able to keep him alive. Let's take another look at that. I believe he should have had it here.
Yeah, Xyu has everything at the start of this play. Hambach just gets the stun. Waits a little bit.
Ja, bin gespannt, wie wir uns in Div 2 schlagen. Ich weiß, ich kann es nicht einschätzen.
Xyu was pretty much just stun locked for a lot of that.
Bis im Oktober bis dahin kann gut sein, dass ich Burnout habe.
He just shoved in the wave. He's on his own timer. Palafox ends up falling.
And even if,
yeah, that's a tilter as a mid laner. When your jungler dies, you try and help him out, and it costs you your lane as well.
Especially when it's the inverse of what just happened.
Und da fängt Worlds an und Worlds ist in der Nähe. Das heißt, meine Skip-Schedule wird wahrscheinlich wieder komplett am Eimer sein.
This time doesn't have flash. Impact roams and is able to capitalize on Syndra.
Ne, Freddy ist ein sehr guter Xerath. Die Xerath-Spots sind auch immer sehr nice, aber er spielt einen sehr, sehr guten Xerath.
It's now 2-1 in favor of Sentinels with close to a 1,000 gold lead at the end of all the plays. It's really just Denethor currently that's ahead for Dignitas still.
Absolutely. Going to be trying to split push as much as possible on the Gnar, because the Malphite will still be a big force in a lot of these team fights. And Kangas, I hope this isn't the end of Dignitas.
Wie viele Stunden sind circa im Monat? Ja, so 300 plus während der Season. 340 oder sowas, glaube ich, wenn alle Ligen laufen, so 340.
Temperfate will go down onto the turret, buying the time for the dive. Hambach easily picks that one up. Sentinels pull off the kill and get a magical journey to safety.
Wo genau in der Nähe wird Worlds sein, jetzt bei LCS? Ich glaube, die swappen Zeitzonen, aber unter anderem auch LCS-Zeitzonen, ja.
Synergy on the dive right there. Turn the turret off, kill everyone, go through the magical journey, and Mastercard power spike item. Denethor does have the Black Cleaver. He's going to need it to cut through all the armor of Malphite with the Frozen Heart.
It helps in that solo lane as well as in the team fights, because if FBI wants to do damage, if XE wants to do damage, you want that cleaver to shred through. As now, play in the mid lane here.
Oh, Hambach ist gut. Wow, Hambach ist gut. Wow.
Hambach got a killing spree as the coach laughs a lot.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hambach's giving us
Ist Denethor neu? Ja.
right now on the Kiana. Huhi roams top lane as Denethor will look for the solo play onto Impact. Gnar ultimate to the wall, but with Huhi slowing him down.
Oh, scheiße.
Impact still lands the ultimate. Denethor
oh, bro.
in a lot of trouble, but he's got the wave. He's trying his best to get out of Impact, and it's just not meant to be. Impact with the kill.
Did Impact flash predict Malphite out there, like ult far enough behind him that if he flashed backwards, he's going to be able to hit it? I think he did to find the actual kill on that onto Denethor. So everything just breaks right for Sentinels. After Hambach finds the solo kill in the jungle, he's able to go in, punish Palafox, they make the beautiful dive bottom lane, and then Huhi on the roam is able to get them winning at the top lane as well.
I gotta say, stocks are pretty high for Emily Rand's way too early summer split predictions.
Die kommenden 4 Monate Mana, voraussichtlich die kommenden Monate für Reapers nichts zu tun. Mach aktiv Sport.
Yeah, and let's watch this one more time.
Mach aktiv Sport und ernähr dich gut. Was passiert in 4 Monaten?
Is it outplay or misplay? I think that's an outplay.
Yeah.
He goes right through him, but he's clearly clicking past him as Denethor tries to flash backwards and still gets hit.
If you do that ult and Denethor chooses to walk back to the right, not going to work.
I go. No flash, no.
Yeah. I go where, Palafox?
No, that's how it feels when a Fed Kiana comes in your lane.
True.
It just, if Kiana gets on
Zwergs kommt Dank für den 13. Dankeschön.
Way to play.
Ooh, another dive attempt here as Denethor
Horrible dive. Oh, großer Gott.
Behind him, and Hambach was not able to get close enough.
Too tanky.
Curtain call used. Only the 4-shot will land. Yes, too tanky. Impact is here, though. They could look to force it. 5 seconds until the unstoppable force. Malphite could just hard commit, not going to go for it as top lane. Now Darkwings has to back off from that turret.
Also der Username ist von früher, das ich habe jetzt den Username gar nicht mit einbezogen, aber es ist doch immer, ich glaube, das ist halt so useful, weißt du? So useful Vorsatz. Ja, 54 ist krank. Man kann ja immer noch ein bisschen mehr drauf machen. Was hat mit diesem Kommessen auf sich? Mein Dad hat immer, wenn das Essen fertig war, hat er mir eine Sprachmemo, also er hat es zuerst geschrieben und hat mir eine Sprachmemo geschickt danach. Wo er genau, das ist eine OG-Sprachmemo.
Into the bottom red side tri-brush. The turret's low. Hambach's gonna go for the dive here. They actually have the damage on a rampage. Goes Hambach as Denethor dies before the TP can even get in range. Palafox is there, but Darkwings is out of there. Meanwhile, mid lane, FBI is looking for some damage here onto Rahel. Colleen did a lot of work, but not enough to get the kill. Flash out from Darkwings, flash fall from Palafox. Darkwings is not out of enemy territory yet. Caught out in the jungle as he will go down.
Darkwings falls at the end, but the sequence overall is still very good for Sentinels. You can see they've opened up a 4,000 gold lead. Crucially, Rahel didn't die in the mid lane right there. You can actually see objective bounties are on. That's how far ahead Sentinels is after that sequence. Taking down the top turret and also having the 2 Drakes.
And that's got to be tough. You can see on Denethor's face there on the player cam, I think a little bit of frustration for the rookie top laner. If he had just stayed alive on that bottom turret dive and had the space, bought the time for Palafox to come in, that could have been a much, much better play. But end of the day, not going to find it. Palafox will just get the one. But a reminder for everybody at home, if you have not yet, the LCS Championship is going to Gas South Arena in Atlanta, and tickets are available now. Scan that QR code so you can go watch Jat live for gasoline somewhere. We're going to do something with gas. We haven't decided yet.
It's all gas, no brakes.
All gas,
I'm not
no
going to pour gasoline on people.
But what if we did like a whole, I don't know, do you know how to ride a motorcycle?
You do.
I do.
So you could do motorcycle stuff with gasoline.
Well, what if we all did motorcycles? I could teach the whole crew.
Well, then I'm going to die because I don't know how to ride a motorcycle.
I think you'll be fine. The Herald started up here by Dignitas. Sentinels are in the neighborhood. FBI gets chunked to about half health and is fine for right now. Dignitas will get the Herald, and they might get out of here as Impact coming in from the top lane and taking some damage from XU and Denethor, and his health bar barely moved. So that is a very tanky, armor-heavy Malphite.
Yeah, the shield from Malphite's passive, he has 13 armor when he hasn't taken damage for a little bit. Really hard to break that shield.
Sentinel support, though, Huhi might be out of position. He's able to take the magical journey to safety throughout the Tempered Fate to buy some time. So ult down for the Bard, as he was very far.
So, dieses Game können wir sicherlich nicht verlieren, right?
Okay, this is a very similar situation to what Sentinels was in Game 1, and they need to be able to close this game. So they have 2 Drakes.
Aber sie haben halt einen SSN. Mit SSN immer Games zu gewinnen,
he needs to be the one to carry them to victory, because he was...
Muss ein Rad soll ich bei McDonald's bestellen? Nee, komplett disgusting.
They were sloppy enough around objectives and team fighting, they gave over enough bounties
Komplett disgusting.
that they then eventually got outscaled. So Sentinels might get a little locked up here if it's going to be Game 1 all over again. Let's see if they can close it out.
And so far, Hambach has been able to just style. Like every time he shows up somewhere, there's dead bodies of Dignitas marking the graves. And there's not a lot of lockdown. I mean, there's Pantheon, there's the Syndra, and then, I mean, maybe if Ignar is able to land the Ultra Mega Fire Kick, but like, I'm not seeing...
3 Stunden ist auch nicht gesund. Also guck mal, ich bin eh so lange am PC. Also guck mal, ob ich das jetzt on-stream schaue oder ob ich das privat schauen würde, wo ist der Unterschied? Ich würde den ganzen Tag sowieso nichts anderes machen.
Denethor and Palafox, and I have to imagine Lucian would also get one-shotted.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best bet you have to mark him is going to be Denethor, which is difficult then, because then who is really marking the Malphite? You're kind of telling Pantheon to do that. So it's a difficult puzzle for them to solve. But for now, I do believe Sentinels are just playing the lanes until the Drake and hoping that Dignitas enters the river poorly.
Ambox now 2 items completed. Almost 100% kill participation.
Ich meine, für den zu gut, ja, aber...
Similar position in game number 1 around this time.
Ja.
But right now, let's see if he's able to actually transition that in.
Speaking of, warum subst du denn nicht und gibst mir noch mehr Geld? Dann habe ich noch mehr Motivation, noch mehr zu streamen. Wie wäre das?
Would be their third, putting them on soul point. So fully expect Hambach to clear these top camps, head straight down towards the bottom side already. Huhi is getting vision priority around the area. That's a lot of red wards in the bottom river.
It is. It's likely that Dignitas would concede this one. They currently have no way of living through the engage from Sentinels. I think there is a point, like, with a very burst-heavy...
So eine Laufbahn, wie viele haben wir top, glaube ich.
Jin CC. If they mess up their engage somehow, that's the window for Dignitas to be able to win. But that kind of requires stopwatches or Zonias, and they have none of those things at the moment.
Or it requires making...
Wenn du on-stream redest, du wahrscheinlich viel mehr als die Probleme mit der Stimme hat. Also wenn du hier ab und zu mal Co-Streams verfolgst, ich rede nur, wenn ich Bock habe. Wenn ich keinen Bock habe zu reden, dann rede ich auch nicht. Hier gibt es auch teilweise 10 Minuten mal schöne Stille. Also, keine Sorge. Freddy redet ja wirklich, was sehr respectable ist. Freddy redet ja wirklich dauerhaft. Ich rede nur, wenn ich Bock habe. Junge, macht Hambach Damage. Auf so eine Stelle freue ich mich immer. Ja, eben.
Doesn't even use Kiana ult. Doesn't need it. Nope. Yep. I can see Palafox kind of adjusting his hair there. That's about all you can do to outplay that one, aside from waiting your Nexus, in which case the game ends anyway.
And it's feeling like that's the direction that we're going here. This is only 20 minutes into the game and a 5,000 gold lead close to at least 4 Sentinels. As now the Grand Starfall used by XU is going to go through the magical journey because Huhi just got Rahel straight out of the danger zone. That is the Pantheon.
Das war ein schönes Mika.
They're trying to continue the chase down, but
Huhi in der Falle, so 2:15 Uhr wahrscheinlich.
Can't make the pick happen. Dragon, meanwhile, went over to Sentinel, so they got the objective and they get out. That was Dignitas's first look at really using that Pantheon ultimate outside of the first, 5 minutes when they made that play out of Dark Wings, and that time they did not get a kill.
Yeah, but I agree with the first tweet there. Hambach is just crushing. Captain Flowers also in our Twitch chat.
Woofing on the dog.
Hambach is woofing on the dog. Absolutely is. Skarner got banned. He's just going to have to pull out Kiana.
Well, that must have been
that was a game one tweet.
Game one, yeah.
He was until he wasn't.
Uh-huh. So what's he doing now, Captain Flowers, on the Kiana? He's, I don't know, what's Kiana's whole thing? She's got like the little circle blade as now Engage comes in from Impact, trying to dive between the turrets here. The first turret will fall in the mid lane as Exu's caught out in his own jungle. Sentinels, the entire...
Wir checken auch Platz auf dem Service. Ich wünsche dir ein gutes Einloggen.
And Dignitas are still reeling, man. They just cannot deal with what Hambach is giving them right now. As now some damage comes in. They take the Magical Journey. Sentinels are trying to get onto Dignitas in the mid lane. Rooted up onto the carry. FBI's out of there. Impact on a killing spree. As Rahel lands a deadly flourish to set it all up. Sentinels get 2, and they're looking at Baron.
Very nice game from Sentinels to this point. Played with a lot of control. So much of it does revolve around Hambach. 8 out of 9 on the kill participation, who he has also been everywhere with the Bard. And Dignitas really trying to defend this one. They have pretty good Mega Nard timing. It's probably worth an attempt.
Yeah, Denethor is close to hitting that Rage Bar. Not going to go for the steal, but they're going to go for the big engage. Denethor is into the pit.
Was hältst von Surdy? Ich bin Surdy. Ich finde Surdy okay.
But the jungler's down, the top laner's down. Dignitas get 2.
Ja, okay.
Shutdown comes in for the jungler. Now Grand
Die Sache ist, ist halt, seine Competition ist halt full Korean, right? Das heißt, es ist immer sehr schwierig, gut auszusehen in der Liga.
Denies the rest of Dignitas from following up, so it's only going to be the 2 kills for Dig.
But some big kills.
Was mir nichts zu tun ist, außer ich glaube mal eine Reise unterm Vorwand, dass es unser wird.
So the gold lead does
ja.
a little bit back for Dignitas, and it's just a little risky.
Ich weiß echt nicht, was man in 4 Monaten machen kann. I don't know.
Taking a lot of damage from the Baron.
Ich könnte es ja nicht sagen, weil also ich bin super Routinenmensch. To be fair. Ich glaube, ohne Routine wäre ich richtig aufgeschmissen. Ohne Routine ist direkt wieder FF.
Impact actually cues
Boah, das Hambach da noch den Ding bekommt. Wow.
That smite in before the 1,080 gold goes over to Denethor, and another shutdown going over to XU with the kill onto Impact's Malphite.
If there was just like 1 more auto worth of damage from Denethor, maybe you kill Hambach before he can smite away the Baron.
Und Peace durchbingen, ja.
Things could get really crazy.
Yeah, XU was very close too, so he would have been able to maybe get in range. Just smites, flash smite that one away. But as it stands, it's just going to be a couple kills for Dig. Sentinels still get the Baron, but that is a big negative Baron power play. Currently, negative 2,000. Let's see if Dark Wings can get some of that gold back here in the bottom lane, taking this tier 2 turret. Not going to happen right now on this wave. So Dignitas actually getting some gold back in their pockets.
They absolutely are. 90-second timer for Sentinels. Waiting for that Infernal Soul. A little bit of a hiccup, but they did technically get the Baron, so Darkwing's able to use these empowered minions to collect turret gold.
Durch mehr Problem? Boah, sollte okay sein. Mal sehen.
1100 gold bounty.
Mal sehen. Generell mit Syndra halt schwierig, ne? Mit Syndra sehr, sehr schwierig.
Now 2 items completed, has the Sterix alongside the Black Cleaver. So Denethor is going to be a bigger front line.
Syndra leider immer noch super, super broken, aber Victor ist auch gut im Game hier. Und Kiana auch.
Mega form, trying to jump away, slowed by the seismic shard. Darkwings throws a laser at him, but Denethor is back to safety. So TP down for Darkwings.
Pretty risky if they chase Pantheon, though.
Now XU just going to fly over the top and get straight in onto Darkwings. Throws down the gravity field and is able to turn it back around. Temper Fate lands onto XU as the rest of Dignitas were trying to get away. XU now in trouble as Hambach on the wall just deletes Palafox yet again. And Hambach can do no wrong. The double kill for the jungler. Talent supremely displayed there as Sentinels will win another team fight.
I mean, they win the team fight. They might win the game. That was 4 kills. We're only 24 minutes in, so the respawn timers are low enough, but that just brings them right back into completely dominating this one. Just a perfect engage by Hambach, followed up by Impact with the follow-up. So it all starts when XU says, I think I can make a play. They then chase up too far, and they really lose track of this guy in the corner. the full lethality Kiana right next to the wall. Palafox instantly one-shot into two-man unstoppable force from Impact. There's no way that Dignitas has enough damage.
Ja, Hambach macht ein sehr, sehr gutes Kiana-Game.
That needed to get the pick onto the Syndra, but if they're killing Syndra first, then no one can kill the Malphite, and they can walk over any team fight.
Darkwing's got the double, Hambach got a double, 4 fall on Dig, and they didn't even get the member that they were looking for. Now, back to live, Dragon's Soul being warned by Sentinels. The game is still going, but that is a
Wie lief's Flycross Game? Line hat sich geknallt. Game 1 harter Stomp, Game 2 war eine geile Shitshow. Also recommended. Game 2 zu schauen, das war eine richtige Shitshow.
That's a really low amount of damage in a 25-minute game.
Tempered Fate from Hu, he flash onto Palafox, flash response. Palafox is able to dodge around it. FBI is trying to get away from Hambach, but he can't hit the blast.
Hambach spielt so ein gutes Game, Mann, das ist krank. Ohne Spaß, der spielt so ein geiles Game hier. Wow.
Can they give him the penta? There's an angle for it. If Sentinels want to gift their jungler, quite a start to Summer Split. It looks like they're just going to go for the game instead. The turret will fall, the inhib will fall after. Waiting for the next wave to come in. It'll be a 2-man defense from Dignitas under the Nexus turrets. Denethor and Ignar trying their best, but Sentinels are just too strong. 10, 1, and 3 for Hambach on the Kiana. What a performance from
Ja, Hambach krank. Hambach Koreaner, ja.
from their jungler. Game 2 goes.
Insanes Kiana-Game, wow. Also wirklich sehr insanes Kiana-Game.
Was impressive. His Nefiri was also exceptional in the early game of Game 1, so Hambach really doing his best to put out some carry performances. He's going to be my player of the game.
I would have to agree.
Pretty hard to argue when every fight starts with him just one-shotting a carry.
Yep.
But we'll see if the lounge has any dissent. What do you think?
I agree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think there's any dissent.
Really? Just for the sake of dissent.
You thought about it.
Yeah,
you thought about it. I saw your face.
finding an angle. There was no angle.
We're so Hambach.
Yeah. I should not laugh at all to that.
Especially because we had already said it.
Yeah, we already said it. Yeah, why do you...
I had made it purposeful to not say it on broadcast.
Actually, makes it funnier.
Yes,
Yeah,
I was like, it's
The less
too...
funny it is, the more funny it becomes.
True. I was like, it's too corny. Emily?
I'm laughing. Yeah,
not corny enough.
Flyquest sieht deutlich besser als SEN ist deutlich besser als Flyquest. Well, ein Team spielt gegen Dignitas, das andere Team hat gegen Lion gespielt.
A movie is just like kind of bad.
Nicht vergleichbar.
Movie. But when a movie is really bad,
It's
a good
amazing.
movie.
It's a great
That's
movie.
a great movie.
Yeah. And my God, Hambach absolutely cooked XU. I felt, not even just him. Yes, you can get one shot by the Kiana, or you can get 2 shot with the Malphite behind him.
Yeah.
I thought the composition was great.
Yeah, and speaking of cooking, let's break it down. This week's Pagoda moment. Impact with his predict on the flash from Denethor, showing he still got it.
He still got it. The one thing that was surprising to me was that he was mid-wallop animation and he sends the Malphite ulti anyways when you're locked out of the flash. So I was like, what happens if he just doesn't flash? It was actually pretty close too.
Yeah.
So I was actually really impressed with the predictor. That was one of the best predicts I've seen in a little bit.
And it got actually pretty close. So if he does actually flash it, you know, and avoids the ult, maybe he can win in a 1v2. It's hard to know. I think what Impact was trying to do is like basically overlap the hitbox so that if he doesn't flash, you can tag him with the back of it. And if he does flash, he kind of flashes into the front of it. Obviously, if you can see exactly where he's going, you can maybe flash the side, but that's so hard in the moment when it's a point blank Malphite ult.
Yeah.
You kind of have to insta flash as soon as you see the animation.
Yeah, exactly. Spam chat with the Pagoda emote if you guys see a Pagoda moment worthy play. I want to return to Hambach because
he's had a lot.
Another person that was up there in that top lane at the same time was Huhi, and I had an incredible hot take where I said Hambach and Huhi were going to be the best jungle support duo.
Oh, but is this
in the
Hambach?
LCS. This is Hambach cooking XU.
Or is it Malphite?
As you said. Malphite is also there.
Okay.
But he, like, Kiana is something that I feel like a lot of people see the Kiana locked in, they're like, I don't know if you're aggressive enough to pull this off, right? I don't know if you're willing to go for...
Ja, ich glaube, by the way, Kiana ist... Guck mal, hallo Billy, Kiana ist...
It felt like half the time Hambach was finding his own setup.
He is the setup.
But to your point, Isaac, this was also just such a great composition.
Kiana ist nicht zwingend ein Champion, wo du so super überaggressiv sein musst. Das ist ein bisschen falsche Konzept, falsche Wahrnehmung. Champion funktioniert auch vollkommen als Full Clearer inzwischen. Champion halt also als Power Farmer.
if you're not Tarzan, is it going to work and stuff? But then we were talking about it, and I think it is something that can fit his playstyle. Right? I do feel like he.
Immer wenn so ein Champion halt super gebuffte Ding hat, dann
I feel like a lot of the great Nefiri players
geht da halt sehr viel, was Powerform angeht.
And he's just been playing
Crazy Leute, ja, ich hab's gesehen, ja.
And I feel like the Malphite was a great pick here too from Impact. This is something that I have been trying to sell top laners on for a while.
Yeah.
Because I do feel like against a lot of the meta blinds, it is very, very strong. When you're thinking about Gnar and Jace, which are two of the most common meta blinds, I think you have good 1v1 lane matchups into both of them. We're also seeing a ton of mages bot and mid that are low mobility champions that don't have a lot of safety. If you don't have flash against Malphite, it can be incredibly hard to play. So I feel like this champion really is being overlooked, and I like seeing it come out in a situation like this. You're playing against Syndra, doesn't really have any mobility, it's flash or death, and you're playing against Gnar, which if you get the lane in a good state, you can actually threaten solo kills and start to build CS advantages.
And I'm interested in who is the player of the game for this one. Is it the Hanbok?
I think it's unanimously
Is it the Malphite? Maybe we can throw the champion.
I think
it's that graphic. Okay,
yeah, Hootie also had a good game. I think it's unanimous.
5-5.
Yeah.
Makes
so
sense.
unanimous Palafox followed by unanimous Hanbok.
It's funny because when we ended up showing both games from Hanbok, his stats, they look like winning stats for both games.
But they lost game one.
Which is just depressing from Sentinel's perspective.
The real question, though, is Palafox summer already over?
Hey, look, it was summer can have some rainy weeks, all right? That was one.
Winter is coming around.
No, it's a long summer. It's a long summer, okay?
It's feeling chilly out there.
No, hold back.
It's really cold in the studio.
Someone find the groundhog. No, it is a long summer. 44% there for Impact. That's quite good. I mean, I think Impact has been, that was a really good game. So there's not much you can say about that. I think some of the invades that Sentinel, Dignitas have been doing haven't really made sense. So they just need to be able to look back on these last two games and figure out which early plays make sense for them. Because, hey, if Malphite has push and we see him moving very clearly in vision, maybe it's not a good timer. Those are some moments I think that are easy lessons.
Yeah, and I think if I'm Dig, I'm looking at both games really, right? Because we also pointed out, like, even though they did end up winning game one, and I think unquestionably the vibes seem to be a lot better on this team than they were previously. I know Cass was talking about it. We showed a bunch of like look-ins to their comms and on camera and stuff. I think you do still have to look at a lot of these macro plays, especially neutral objective setups, which is where I really feel like they've been faltering a bit. You can see it in this game. It's very heavily sided towards Sentinels in terms of Drake stacking specifically.
But honestly, last game looked like it should have been this game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with the way that it started, you have a team that was up, 5K or whatever they were. They were up a pretty big amount of gold. They got Soul, and then a couple fights started going bad, and things kind of fell apart. But like this very easily could have been a Sentinels 2-0 if it were not for some of the Palafox heroics and for Dignitas being able to crawl that one back in game one.
And it's interesting because I know Cloud Siski had an interview with Impact, and Impact just believes that internationally, like versus Gen G or so, they felt like they were choking in big moments. So like losing the first game when they had a huge lead kind of aligns with that thought process. But hey, let's see it claw back, and maybe they can take game 3.
And that'll be exciting. And remember, during the LCS Summer Split, you could win a trip to a League of Legends event. Save your MasterCard as your card on file and make a purchase from the in-client store for a chance to win. Game 3 coming up right after the break. We'll see you then.
Guys, watch out. Yeah, I mean, you're dead, no? I'm coming. Fine. If they come on, we can look. Maybe I look. 판테 first. 딜러라인 봐도 돼. 나 딜러 볼까? 끝낼 생각 해볼래? 야, 나를 first. You're dead.
Line hat vielleicht was von der geputzt. Ja, das war nicht los.
What a performance from their jungler. Game 2, go Sentinels.
Es wird Zeit, dass entweder Ducky oder Wooting mich sponsern. Ich möchte unbedingt eine neue Tastatur, aber ich will eigentlich dieselbe nochmal haben, aber die gibt's nicht mehr. Wunderschöne Ding. The Beauty. So, die wird nicht mehr verkauft, leider. Eine Tragedy. Ja, ich habe auch. Ich bin reingegangen und dachte, Flyquest gewinnt heute. Aber ja. Nichts gibt's. Ja, die Temperaturen werden, ja, kannst nicht, also nicht vermarktbar, legit nicht vermarktbar. Wait, Casking hat gerade ein Riesenangebot für... Oha, wait, die sind ja so runtergesetzt. Wait, Ducky 1, 2, haben die noch einen, bitte?
LCS for Summer Split presented by
Mit Speed
Mastercard.
Silver.
Sentinels versus Dignitas going the distance here, Jat, as we got Game 3 on the horizon. Sentinels winning both early games. Dignitas winning Game 1, but Sentinels closing it out in Game 2.
It's true, and we had so many eyes on Palafox after Game 1 of the series with his Oriana game. 8, 1, and 11, 95% kill participation. We talked about Palafox Summer. It was going to be amazing. And then Hambach just decides to kill him like 7 times.
Yeah.
And then also I think XU had some poor engages in that game. So I don't actually feel like Game 2 is on Palafox. But it does make you concerned.
Hambach was like the summer school teacher. It's like, not back to class, buddy. You had your 1 week of break. Now it's time to go and learn again. As Sentinels are looking to close out this series. And it got us thinking, Jat. You and I were talking during the break about, you know, what would this mean? Like, what kind of trend could Dignitas set here based on movie trilogies? Because they're going for a third movie.
True.
Movie 1, cinema. That was a great win for them. Absolutely.
And then sequels often are bad.
The sequels are usually bad.
Yeah.
Now, are we going to get the trilogy? Is it going to end on a high note? Or is the trilogy also just going to all suck at the end?
Yeah, it's true. So I need some chat participation on this because this was a hard pull for us. So we're wondering if Dignitas is going to be like the Iron Man trilogy.
Yes.
Right? First movie was good. I don't think the second movie hit for many people. And the third movie's good again.
Yeah,
which is really rare. Yeah. Much like Dignitas series wins.
Yes.
So it could happen. Or is it going to be more like the Matrix trilogy?
Yeah, did not end well. That one, are we going to get Palafox reloaded into Palafox Revolution? Or are we going to get, is he going to stay the one? You know, he was Neo in Game 1.
Good.
That was fantastic. Maybe Game 2 will just be the Mickey Rourke side quest, you know? We just forget about that one.
Those Matrix movies broke my heart, dude. I was so hyped in high school for Matrix Reloaded.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were. A lot of us were, Jet. Did you see Matrix 4, though?
I did.
What were your thoughts on that one?
Ja, für meine jetzige Tastatur gibt es einfach keine einzige mehr. Bei Geizhals und so weiter, die gibt es einfach nicht mehr. Das ist so tragic, Mann. Das kann ich sie niemals wechseln. Also es gibt Ducky. Was verkauft Ducky denn gerade?
Exactly, yeah. Like, it was so meta.
It's like self-aware that it's like the plot's not going to be good, the ending's kind of going to suck, and like, wow,
Warum läuft das ja am Laufen? Ja, Nifter, weiß ich nicht, ob ich das so, also, ich bin halt so stuck bei Duckys, ne? Wir haben alle gesagt, kauf dir den Wooting. Hol dir den Wooting. Ah, ich bin schon so lange hard stuck bei, mit Ducky und ich liebe die Keyboards. Ich liebe die Keyboards so sehr.
Yeah, they built the highway for that scene. That was cool. They would never do that nowadays. They just do everything CGI.
I think in modern days we didn't have this verbiage back in early 2000s, but nowadays we would just say Matrix 2 was aura farming. That's all that movie was. It was just aura farming happening. All right, let's see who can farm more aura here in game number 3, though. And again, let us know in chat. Are there other trilogies we're missing? where the first movie's great, the next two suck. There's a lot of examples, I think, for that one. The harder one is where the third one.
Yeah, the third one is good after the second one's bad, which is what Dignitas is trying to recreate here.
Exactly.
And make it truly Palafox Summer.
Banning away Locke, banning away Lee Sin. One final ban for Dignitas. Meanwhile, Sentinels took away Poppy, Cassiopeia, and Akali. And I think a big part of Dignitas, the story around them coming into Summer is obviously about the top laner, Denethor. He had his first win in the LCS, a game win against Impact, losing game 2. And I think we got to see why Impact's champ pool is so tough to get through, because that Malphite was just such a problem for them.
The Malphite was really good at following up on engages, but I've been pretty happy with what we've seen from Denethor. I think a lot of times when rookies come in, you'll think that their laning can have some impressive moments, but then they just get lost on the map.
Sure.
And I don't feel like that's been happening with Denethor so far. So pretty promising first 2 games that I've seen him here in the LCS.
Deep close-up right there, too. Timing. That was
Wie hoch ist hier die Qualität? Boah, nicht so gut.
looking at
Ziggs.
Ziggs picked for
Der Arsch will vom Ganzen sitzen. Nee, ich geh jetzt zum Sport.
Could
Mir
be
geht's gut.
Palafox, but I'm
Camille,
expecting
man.
FBI with Ignar on Camille. This seems like the bot lane locked in, and that means Jet, for the first time, game 3 now of the series, we are getting a mage bot lane.
True.
If that actually goes down there. It's still not.
It's got it.
It's got it, right?
I'm gonna say for sure. Just because of the Camille is locked in as well. And Camille support isn't gonna work unless you have like Jhin or like a full wave clear, so I think that makes sense. And Hambach Vi was incredibly banned.
Booting ist schon geil. Letztes Game der LCS, ja. Booting ist schon geil, ja.
So I think in scrims he was probably a total demon on this champion.
It was banned
And he's
even
already been
Awesome.
carrying this series.
Yeah. Interesting that they banned the Kai'Sa instead of the Vi, which I believe Vi had been banned in the first 2. So, logs in for Hambach plus the Leona. Don't make me tell my therapist about it. About which team losing? Is this in regards to a team? Okay, we're not going to get the answer to that. It's
Yeah.
okay. A lot of
Tell
engagement.
us about it either.
Yeah. We're just vague posting IRL? Really?
What just happened?
I feel like that's what just happened right there. All right, either way, a lot of engage from Sentinels, some damage follow-up, and CC follow-up from the Talia now for Dark Wings. Unless, is it Talia bot lane? It could be Rahel on the mage. Ooh.
Sorry. I don't say vague properly. I say Vog.
Well, no, you don't.
Because there's
That's
no
fake.
Y in it.
No, it's not. You don't say VOD.
I know that's not how
I've
people say it.
never
I've
heard
been
you
informed
once
that's
in my
how
life.
people say it.
I'm calling you out live right now.
That's my natural. I just say it's really Vog.
I know you don't.
Doch, ja.
No
Danke.
human says that.
That's what I want to say. I have to
Dankeschön.
think to put the Y into the word.
That's crazy.
I know. It's not good.
It's not a
but
good
it's
look.
something that happens.
Not a good look, Jot.
Yeah, Jot.
All right, well, Trundle locked in here for Dignitas. There's just no. Okay.
Talia? Okay. Talia Botten?
Use the word often.
You know what? Prague. That's a city that's spelled.
I do say
similar.
vague.
Stühle, Chairs empfehlen.
Ja, vague
Kauf dir
post.
einfach
It's
einen
not
normalen Office-Chair.
It's more vague.
To be honest, kauf dir einfach einen normalen
Equivalent
Office-Chair.
now. It's spelled similar. Yeah, be careful how we start pronouncing these
I know.
words.
It's. I'm not doing anything intentionally.
Okay, fair enough. Galio banned out from Sentinel side. See if there's another mid lane ban here, because again, we're assuming that that's going to be Ziggs and Camille bot lane, or if they want to ban out some top laners, because Dignitas this time around should be able to
Ich glaube, sind Tastatur
pick
gewagt.
with their
Ja,
top
ne,
laner.
zieh
That
ab.
was my #1 thing I wanted to look for Denethor coming
Zieh ab.
into today. How many times does he get counterpick? How many times does he get put on something he's comfortable on? He's played the Gnar. Actually, that's important to note. He was a Camille one-trick in Challenger before he went into Tier 2 and Collegiate, so there's a chance that that is actually
It could
played
be a
top.
nice flex and then throw like a support down bot lane like a Shen later on, but it's interesting that they decided to do last pick for themselves as their choice rather than picking blue side.
Hat Ihre Kasseanteil bei NNO ein besserer Draft Community bei Bankbar gemacht? Nein, weil hast du mal zugehört, was da für eine Lautstärke im Draft ist? Kannst keinen Impact haben in den Drafts. Aber einfach mal, no joke, einfach mal zuhören.
Blue side and whatever their pick choice would have been, depending on what.
Da kriegst du Kopfschmerzen.
Was, and they're actually not giving him
Jedes NNO-Game bin ich überstimuliert, dass es knallt, ey.
Palafox to see the entire team comp before drafting.
I guess, because this will tell you, is the Talia going mid or is the Talia going bot? Because that was still a flex being held by Sentinels. It will be Talia mid, Zeri bot, and Shen top lane for Impact.
I like Impact Shen. I mean, he went through all of Spring Split, basically not playing tanks. And then as soon as it mattered, he tanked up for playoffs to try and make a run. Now he's starting with tanks. Maybe this is his real long game for Impact. He's going to say, you know what? I've already played the tanks. Maybe we should experiment now that we've won a few games.
I'm trying to think what the Iron Man equivalent is to that now. I'm just trying to connect it all back.
Everything has to connect to a Marvel
It
movie.
does. Although I guess Sentinels would be a very different one, because we said it from the Dignitas side. From Sentinel side, it would be the first movie's terrible, and then the second two are great.
Oh, that's almost
That's a tougher one.
because they never make the second movie.
Yeah, you'd have to make a sequel to a bad movie, and usually that doesn't happen. We'll rely on Twitch chat for that one. Hopefully somebody lets us know. But either way, here are the drafts. Palafox, Rise, FBI, Ziggs, support Camille for Ignar. So more along the lines of what we've been seeing globally around. And also even in that first series, it was a bunch of mages in the bottom lane when it came to FlyQuest versus Lion. FBI at least going to
Ich finde den Draft von...
FBI Ziggs. It's not like the Cassiopeia bot lane or the Syndra bot
Boah,
lane.
welchen Draft finde ich besser? Kannst du nicht sagen.
So this is more of a known quantity, I would say, for this player.
Sind ja nur Games schon online? Ja,
Also
sind sie.
seeing on the other side, Rahel trying to take over the game on Zeri. We don't see much Zeri anymore, but he'll be able to fly into the fight with the Shen ultimate and have engage from Huhi on the Leona. So I feel like that's the plan for Sentinels, is just everybody flying in. Talia, Shen, Zeri, Vi, full engage, full dive for Sentinels.
All the carries gonna have X marked on their back.
Am besten kommt doch schon aber Level 6. Ist es so?
Sentinels, can they land true as they fire? One more game for either of these teams means a win on the scoreboard to start off their summer split. Riot Games Arena, thank you for sticking around through the day. Give it up one more time for Sentinels versus Dignitas, Game 3.
Opening day of LCS, we're getting the big series in Series 2. Couldn't quite get that third game of Lion versus FlyQuest earlier. Second game was super bloody.
I thought we were going to get it. That would have been a 6-game day for everybody who purchased a ticket.
The dream.
But instead, it's going to be Sentinels and Dignitas giving us the full series here. Let's see how the laning phase starts off. As junglers are going to start on opposite sides. Hambach on the top side as Ignar, early hook shot mid. Not going to quite land onto Darkwings, who does sidestep it.
Expect to see a lot of Ignar elsewhere in this game. That's why you pick the Camille with the Ziggs.
Could you imagine if that did hit, though? Man, that would have been a great start for Palafox in the laning phase. But as it is, Ignar's just going to be behind in XP now, as 2 of the melee minions have gone down. FBI would have gotten solo XP for each of those.
Yep. Sentinels wasn't able to push FBI off, so some total experience is lost because there is bonus experience when you have 2 people near a minion wave versus just 1. More total experience is given, but not a big deal either way.
I thought about a movie example, but I don't think it quite works. Have you ever seen, Ignar's actually going for a little trade here while they're still all level 1. I believe that was the Zenith blade that just went out right there. Not going to land onto FBI.
What's the movie?
FBI hit level 2 early and actually just pokes out Rahel. The movie is, and again, I don't think it's a good example, but have you ever seen the Rambo movies? Because the first one's like very serious and it takes itself as a serious film.
It's supposed to be really good.
And then 2 and 3 are like all action movies. So if you just like dumb 80s action movies,
I see.
the first one might be too intellectual.
Much different style.
It's a different style. And that's not, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, I'm just saying it's different. And also, game 1, not bad from Sentinels. They just weren't able to close it out as Ignar takes a big chunk of damage.
Ignar. Auch gut von Rachel. Und FBI ist auch noch flashlos, by the way.
FBI now trying to run away. Flash is a little late as the Zenith blade will go wide from Huhi.
Oh mein Gott, ja. GG.
Double kill to Sentinels bot lane.
Mid lane. Palafox also gets a kill onto Darkwings. So the more concerning thing is Rahel on the Zeri that is able to have a Shen fly on him.
Warum ist Mitte tot? Ach,
2-0 into the Ziggs. Hilariously, 2 kills, 4 CS. Amazing ratio.
But all you need?
Palafox and XU also pulled off a kill onto Darkwing, so we'll have to get a replay of that in there shortly.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we didn't see that one on screen, but the big one was Rahel with the double kills, now coming back with the Cole and Boots. Now let's take a look at mid lane.
I mean, XU was just in the Raptor pit pushing off Hambach, so Darkwing's not respecting the fact that Trundle can just walk out of there, and then just the missed hook shot into stun makes it very easy for Huhi to turn this one around. Ignar trying to play a little bit too aggressively in a lane that kind of just needs the Ziggs to farm up. And then the very last BB kills the Ziggs.
And I gotta say, even if that hookshot did land, I don't know if that's enough. As mid lane now, Palafox in trouble, did not have summoner spells from his earlier play with the roam from Huhi and Hambach ganking as well.
Ja, das Game ist over.
3-on-1 kill on
Ist wahrscheinlich.
Very nice start overall for
Camille support is so disgusting.
Sure, Palafox can take over this game from the side lanes. So Impact, I feel like Impact's gonna be fine in this lane on Shen. He is such a confident and comfortable Shen player. It's one of his best picks.
And this is tough for Denethor. The wave's in a really rough spot. Hambach is pathing towards the top side, so Denethor might need some backup right now, but Ignar's still in the bottom wave. And he's now on vision, so they know that there's no backup top lane. Ignar's able to hookshot back. Some trade damage onto Huki. But again, I'm just like, if you're Denethor, you really want this wave to get in, because you're in a precarious position otherwise.
Yeah, Rahel definitely playing towards the late game as well. With the double kill, he goes back to base and buys just Boots Call. So it's not like he's trying to take over in the early game, but he's investing for the future.
And
making sure he can dodge the Ziggs bombs with a little bit of extra move speed. And then also just get extra gold with the Call.
And also that potion helping out in case he does take that poke from the Ziggs. But the CS has not helped out. FBI is still 31 to 18 for Rahel, so the double kill is really the only thing keeping him ahead in gold right now. XU's going to go for another invade on the Raptors. Ignar was rotating nearby, so that will be successful steal from XU.
Nice little grass proc up top lane by Denethor.
XU's still looking mid here. No
regank.
Darkwings, no ghost.
Kein guter Regank.
Lands the pillar. Can Palafox get enough damage in? Pulled back by the seismic shove. One turret shot onto Palafox means that I probably don't want to go for the dive. It'll just be a trade of health bars. Palafox and Darkwings trading against each other.
Actually spending a lot of time in mid lane. Frequent Raptor invades in the last 2 games, actually, but knowing that there is
Würde ein LCK oder LPL spielen? Ja.
really nice pillar.
Yep, würde er.
Far back towards Palafox to get a nice trade.
And you don't have many more looks in the mid lane before that flashes back up. So let's see if he just goes for another one. He takes his own Raptors. Hambach is hovering on the bottom river here, looking at mid lane. Palafox level 6. Darkwing's not there yet. Not a big combat summoner spell, or rather ability from either of them. But the flash from Hambach lands Vault Breaker, and in comes Huhi yet again. Palafox cannot get out, will go down. Meanwhile, top lane, Denethor next, you might look for a dive onto Impact. Level 6. He's now engaged. XU starts to tank up the turret. Public XU from Denethor, but it's not enough.
Aber ja, es ist so over, guys.
XU goes down to the turret. A disaster for Dignitas as Impact holds the line. How many times have rookie top laners had to learn this lesson? When you try and dive Impact, you better make sure you prep it well. This guy's known for surviving these.
Yep, key barrier comes in at just the right time for Impact. He does not die. Still just sitting on that door.
Ja, es ist komplett over.
A lot of inherent regen on the Shen with the extra shield, with second wind, with Thorn shield. Whew, that's tough. You need those kind of dives to work after what had just happened in mid lane.
Yeah, that is rough for Dignitas. They just tried to make the play happen top. They even looked for the play mid, but then not able to pull it off in time. So he's able to make another run mid. Now getting some damage on the bot side here is Ignar. Lands the hook shot, flash shot from Hui. Rahel's getting some damage on FBI, but in comes XU from behind, the flank from Hambach. Vi got behind XU. Level 6 Vi. Rahel on a killing spree, and Sentinels are just breaking the ankles of Dignitas.
Sentinels is...
Wie konnte Dignitas Game 1 holen? Well, ich hatte einen kleinen Mini-Crash-Out über EU vs. NA. Deswegen kann ich es jetzt nicht genau sagen, aber ich habe nur gesehen, dass eine Caitlyn 400 Millionen Items hatte.
They can't even get up to take this wave under the bottom turret. Hambach will get the Gromp. And this is a massive gold swing for Sentinels. They're denying camps, they're denying CS, they're getting turret plates and kills, but Ignar once more, he's going in onto Rahel on his own.
Kein mehr Verbot. Dieser Champion ist so scheiße. Ernst.
See how Dignitas is able to punch back here if FBI can get a bit of gold back from plating. I think they went a little bit too far. Nice job by Rahel, taking a very safe recall spot. And that's an incredible stat right there. That Impact is by far the all-time leader in LCS solo kills. I feel like half of these are people trying to dive him, and the turret helping, but it counts as a solo kill.
It does. He's in lead by quite a lot, though. And was that Bjergsen in second? That guy's not playing.
Yeah, I mean, he's also played, he's had a longer career than anyone else in LoL esports history, from Data first pro game in Tier 1 to now. But it's still, he's been playing at a high level for a very long time.
It's going to take a long time for anybody to overtake that record. Now, he got the solo kill with the help of turret, of course, but he's still struggling in the CS department. Denethor's gotten multiple waves in, is about 20 CS up now as Dignitas, with priority in the top lane, will rotate their bot lane up as well and take these grubs.
Yeah.
So the Dragon goes to Sentinels early, but the grubs go to Dignitas.
I mean, I do feel like most of the CS disadvantage is because of the Shen ultimate that was used bot lane to help get Rahel ahead, who is the full win condition of this game. Still, needs a lot of CS before he's got his call complete.
Also,
he's in such a good state.
Was mir nicht gefällt, ist, dass sie hier nicht Toplane getippt haben, by the way. Ich glaube, andere Teams wären hier mit 6 Toplane TP'd und hätten komplett den Turret eingerissen. Direkt mit 3 Grubbies, ohne Gnade.
This is now 3 games in a row where Hambach is just winning the early game. He is so much CS ahead of his jungle opponent. It's 80 to 53. 27 individual CS up means, what, 5 camps right there? 6 camps?
Yeah, and it's just, you know, now that they give us these handy little things, 1,000 gold. Like, that's all it. Yeah. Congratulations, he's crushing. It's going to be half an item up on him already. Look at this, Sundered Sky to
Tunnel or Longsword.
Glowing Moat.
Charm, yeah.
Can't forget about that.
True, hey, 5.
Ability haste.
Well, hey, XU's got to make something work here, as he's looking at the top lane right now. Denethor getting a gank, potentially. Don't know if Impact would have seen him walk into that particular brush with where the minions were, but he's losing his bottom gromp yet again by spending time up here, and Denethor's just going to get the way of him. Impact will stay alive, but last time it did not look good when they went for that dive, so they're going to deny it this time.
Yep, at least it doesn't materialize into a dive, but still going to be completely fine for Sentinels as long as Rahel is farming. And I mean, if you're playing towards the Zeri side,
Also die Sache ist, die haben halt, also to be fair, für das Ding, die Sache ist, die haben sehr guten Lockdown. Also de facto haben die halt sehr guten Lockdown.
Getting burst down, and I feel like Rahel is just in such a good position to carry this game.
Für die Serie. Also später Camille-Ulti into Camille-Ulti into 6-Ulti into Ambessa. Das kann schon sehr gefährlich werden für Rachel. Das heißt, eventuell kriegen wir hier Richtung Seekers.
So it looks like they're not going to prioritize getting the Dragon Vision right now. Instead, they're going to try and do something up here in the top river.
Absolutely. World Games definitely slowed down a little bit after Hambach has been diving, and wow, we're getting
100%
all kinds of amazing impact stats right here.
100% tanks. That's 3 games, but still.
Oh, they're ready for the
Is this enough of a dive? FBI has the damage here as well. They're still going to need somebody to
take
it up. It's the flash engage on FBI, and he's just
die werden, wow.
Impact yet again, outplaying the dive. He's got
Humiliation-Ritual hier, Game 2 und 3.
As Darkwing
Gangbang.
and Hambach all join in on the party, you just can't dive this top laner.
I mean, that was so beautiful by Sentinels. Huhi and Hambach were just waiting outside of vision. So that's not just jungle support synergy, that's jungle support top synergy. Yep. Wait until they're in range and then pounce. And they absolutely pounced at the right time. What a beautiful play by Sentinels.
Impact now 2-0-2. Let's get another look at that, because you can tell, they're
literally just waiting.
Gegen das eine Chance gegen Fnatic? Nein, ich glaube nicht.
And then they're just really waiting until they're about to walk in, and then they just go. Absolute one shot. They sent 5 people for this play, and they get a 0 for 2. That's such an awful swing for them.
Guys, we're eating so much, okay?
They got food on their plate. Sentinels smashed game 2. They were in the lead in game 1 for about 80% of it, and now they're smashing game 3 again. So cumulatively, in the aggregate, this is like a 90% swing rate for Sentinels.
Yeah, I mean, Huhi said it by, like, we're eating so good. It's really hard to put into words, like, how much you gain when you get 2 kills in a 3v5.
Yeah.
Insane.
And also, Rahel got turret blades bot side.
Exactly, because that means everyone else on the map.
Yeah, he's got 3
Gehen wir durch, alles gut.
He's already gotten the
Alles gut, gar kein Stress.
here. Like, Sentinels are poised to just take.
Normalerweise, ich steigere mich auch nur rein, wenn ich ein bisschen Bock habe auch drauf, weißt du?
Even faster this time around. 13 minutes, 5K in the lead. Make it 5.5 as they took down that bottom turret and get a big injection of gold there too. It's like a 5-course meal. This is a banquet right now. All you can eat buffet. I feel like we're going down in scale, actually. You know, 5-course meal to buffet is not really the direction you want.
I was thinking
which would you rather have, though? A 5-course meal or a all-you-can-eat buffet?
Oh, that's... So, as a kid, definitely the buffet.
Right?
Because they were the most fun.
But then you look at, like, do you want the lettuce now? Do you trust the lettuce in that buffet? I don't know. You know?
It's just an excuse for people to eat more pizza, man. That's just...
Yeah, for me, it's the pudding. The pudding in the all-you-can-eat buffet. Oh, man, I could eat pudding all day.
Yeah. Now, though, the 5-course, as long as you have the time.
True.
Time is very valuable for me at the moment.
Yeah, who's got time for that? You got a kid, Jet.
I know.
I think you're going to be able to sit
I'll
down
take
for all
the
5
buffet
courses.
to go.
Taking Toss looking at Hambach right now in their own jungle. He Hextech Ultimatum comes in, Hanbok's just waiting over the wall and is able to just Vault Breaker out of there. He's fine. Dignitas thought maybe they could find an angle, but again, when they're looking for that play, they don't pull it off. Look at topside. Darkwings is pushing another wave in there. You have to imagine he'll get that turret as well. Rahel's going to get more plates in the mid lane here. So Dignitas, hey, it's not for lack of trying. They're looking for opportunities. They're just not finding them.
No, definitely not. And they're just looking towards impact. Like, can we kill the Shen now? Can we kill the Shen now? No, no, no.
No, Denethor is actually winning the trade still against the Shen. Honestly, if you just leave him 1v1, I think it's a better opportunity for Denethor rather than sending everybody out. Like, I get the idea. Oh, the Shen can ult somewhere else, so just dive the Shen. But then you just look at the nameplate, and you're like, maybe that's a bad idea.
It's actually so funny. Denethor is 0-0-0. So anytime someone comes to help him, that person who came to help dies.
True. He might not be 0-0-0 for long here, Jad. His Impact TP's back to lane, has the purchase completed. Denethor is able to jump away. It's hard to stay on the Mbessa, but Impact is showing that he is now able to scrap with that item advantage.
Ja, das Punkt 14 Bug mit dem Watts, das nervt sehr.
Dignitas are in the neighborhood if they want to contest.
They are 50 minutes and the objective bounties have already turned on though. Tells you the current
Pillar onto
state of the
Hugi,
game.
bringing attention onto the Leona. Heal is used. They're trying to lock down the support. The Shen shield will come in. Sand United not in time as Ignar will be traded. It's a 1-for-1. Supports go down. XU pops the subjugate, trying to get some damage back onto Hanbok, but a Vault Breaker flash by FBI. Cannot flash away from the ultimate. He will get the kill, but it's traded 1-for-1 yet again. Denethor was trying to get in with the TP, but Impact was able to stop it. Looked like it was being channeled right there. Maybe not either way. It was a 1v1 in the bottom lane. Dignitas will trade 80 carry for jungler and support for support.
Yeah, Dignitas takes those. When you're down 6,000 gold in 50 minutes, you can get a 2-for-2.
Oh, Impact's still looking for more. He has Darkwings behind him, and Ignar thought maybe he was the one to make the play, but a double kill to Darkwings. The mid laner made it before the support, and the numbers advantage goes to Sentinels. They get 2.
They lost track of the Talia, so Darkwings is also off to the races now. Impact really not getting the credit he deserves in this game from the gold department. Actually has the smallest lead of all potential carries on Sentinels. But I feel like he's been the one kind of low-key carrying this game as he works towards his...
Rachel ist insane gut. Kann nur LTP, ne, LTP ist immer gleichzeitig.
I do like the idea. Typically when you're like, oh, there's the tanky Leona, it's scary to send everything at that, especially with the Shen, but they had the damage there to kill Huhi before the Shen ultimate came down, but Hanbok is playing so well. He's able to Vault Breaker in, flash from FBI, but still, he has the ultimate cease and desist to follow up and get the kill onto the Ziggs. Damage wasn't there for Dignitas anymore. And yeah, you can say when Dignitas is this far behind, trading equal feels fine, but they almost had more, and that was a little scary.
Exactly.
Ja, Rachel ist schon sehr, also ich glaube, das ist wirklich in Hindsight, wow.
2.5 full items, whereas FBI is just trying desperately to clear the wave, and Impact getting a lot of pressure now down onto the Ambassador side lanes. I think we're seeing this mid-turret fall.
Ich glaube, das ist schon ein Riesenfehler von SK, also in Hindsight natürlich. Aber von SK Riesenfehler gewesen, den zu droppen. Das ist, oh, schöner Pillar. Oh, mehr das nicht.
Who cares about a turret when he can just kill the enemy team? Double kill picked up for Hanbok, but that's traded back 1. Hanbok could be in some trouble as well.
Hölle macht Sentinels da.
The rest of Sentinels. FBI, can he land the last bomb? Does not hit it onto Hui, and Rahel is unleashed. Rahel goes onto the turret on his own. FBI out of mana, out of time,
so gut.
out of space on Summoner's Rift. And that is another kill picked up by Sentinels. That is a 3-for-2 trade overall. Rahel's trying to get out of there. Running away from Palafox. Taking the ultimate not very far, though. Double kill from Rahel at the very end, but can he get out of here now? Palafox trying to chase him down, but doesn't have the summoner spells. You have to imagine Rahel's out of there. Takes the blast go to safety. 80 carry out. Ignar still continues the chase. Hextech ultimatum. He says, all right, you got
to Shutdown auf der, jetzt hat er Shutdown auf der Ambassador, ne? Auf der Kamel, meine ich.
1,000 gold bounty. Would have loved to get that on the rise, but it's the tail end of this play that is still beneficial for Sentinels. Could have gone wrong. The interrupt on the Herald keeps the turret alive, and the turret does a lot of damage during this fight, because if the turret dies and they do this dive, it's a total wipe, but it does allow Dignitas to start turning this one around. However, it is a Zeri who is very fed on the tail end of this fight, pops the flash and barrier to finish it off.
Man, that Zeri just completely shredded the Mbessa. That was probably 4 autos for the full health bar right there. As the third dragon's taken from Sentinels outside of the replay. Top lane, looks like Impact will be able to hold this. I don't think Palafox can get up and hit that, so it's going to be the turret saved. Palafox can't even take it down with all of those crystals.
Ich glaube, bei Escada waren so viele Probleme. Und dann am Ende war es halt so, ja, okay, du kickst dann Rachel, aber dann ist halt auch erst immer noch Loop hier und so. Das ist alles, war alles gut.
Now, all grass, no breaks. Scan the QR code.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Gonna ride your motorbike around in infinite circles.
Infinite?
Because you can't brake. All gas. You just...
Well, you will run out of gas in the tank.
Okay.
And in fact, that's probably the safest way to stop at that point. Because otherwise, like, what am I going to do? There's a lot of people at FanFest, Chad.
That's true.
That's a danger.
It is a danger.
Heute Überstunden, ja.
Something to do with it. Again, as long as it doesn't involve the gas associated with Raz, I think we're fine.
That man loves his lattes.
He really
loves
does.
his lattes.
Notorious.
Yeah.
Lactose intolerant. Doesn't bother him. I mean, it does, but okay. Well, that's enough strays for Raz. I feel like we're getting a little off topic there. 4.5k gold lead for Sentinels here, as they have not been able to lengthen that.
Noch fertig jetzt, den Lachs, komm.
Interesting, chat, and I'm getting a little excited about the potential of Dig Summer coming back here in game number 3 because they've put some brakes on the momentum of Sentinels. Yes, Sentinels got the 3rd dragon, so they're still stacking that and threatening, but like when they had a 5,000 gold lead at 13 minutes, I was like, yeah, this game's
Die 600 Gold extra auf, die Kamele sind so fake. Das ist krank. Diese 1K Shutdown, so fake, dieser Champion.
While we have the time, much like we had,
we might not have for a while.
We had the time to talk about Palafox Summer when they had won that first game. Let's make the case for the Dignitas comeback, right?
Okay.
There's a lot of melees on Sentinels, and Trundle's amazing into melees if a fight starts going well. So is actually Ambessa and Ziggs. So if the initial engage doesn't work, the composition, like if this wasn't a giant gold lead, the composition of Dignitas can absolutely fight back into Sentinels, just kind of trying to mob onto people.
Yeah, maybe they find the engage right here. Yeah, Rahel, the 80 carry.
Ja, da seht ihr, der Lockdown auf Rachel halt, ne? Der vorher angesprochene.
Beautiful flip back from Darkwings, though, could turn the play back for Sentinels, but who he's in some trouble. Teleport comes.
Brauchen dringend einen Seekers. Sentinels ist noch okay hier in dem Fight, aber die brauchen dringend Seekers auf Rachel.
That kill now on a rampage. It's a 2-for-2 trade. The bot lane dies. Flash engage from Impact back onto Palafox, but he might wish he had not done that, as he just doesn't have the damage from the team behind him. FBI gets that kill, making it a 2-for-3 trade in favor of Dig.
That's enough.
Da muss ein Seekers kommen.
Objective bounties are even falling off. It all starts with killing the most member. They get rid of the Zeri, no hyper carry left, and then they just have that mosh pit of a fight. I'm glad we took the time to make the case for Dignitas, Kangas.
Yeah, you talked about the ability to dive in onto the carry. Rahel, this is that dive.
Ja, die brauchen, also wie gesagt, da muss sofort ein Seekers kommen bei Rachel. Dann ist es unplayable für Dignitas.
So Impact gets stuck in the top lane and actually has to then TP into the fight.
Der muss jetzt sofort. Und ja, wichtige Play ist auch down, aber der braucht sofort einen Sonjas.
Palafox is able to pick up a lot of gold. That's got to be pretty stressful for Golden Glue. This game felt unlosable. Oh, suddenly losable.
That's one of those quick moments where, like, if everyone's on the exact same page, Impact can flash taunt there. Maybe Hambach can just immediately Vault Breaker. You could try and blow up the Rise, but those really quick snap engage plays, if your team's not ready, you're not going to have enough damage, and Impact learned right there. So that's now some more hope for Dig, some more cope for Dig. 3.6k gold lead still for Sentinels, but that gold lead is shrinking as the next dragon's up in a minute.
Shout out Kumo in the chat, former teammate of Palafox over on FlyQuest way back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
So Palafox with a double kill. Had that great Orianna game. Maybe we're in Palafox Summer after all.
3.
It's still pretty dire unless Ignar can make something happen.
Hey, he loves these builds, man, and he's getting close to full build here as the engage from Denethor lands a public execution and executes Impact on the spot. Top laner down for Sentinels.
Teamwork coming in and a panic Baron start here by Hambach. It is 5v4. If Dignitas walk over there, they still have XU's Trundle ultimate as well.
It was the only combat ultimate was Denethor. Palafox is trying to rotate around with his.
Was machen wir denn?
It's a 5.
Sag jetzt keiner am besser Ulti. Für den Fight jetzt.
4 seconds till it's up. Impact does.
Rachel hat Flash ab.
So Dignitas will have to take this fast. Weaver's Wall is going to block off the approach from Ignar. As now Sentinels actually look at the support. Darkwings has not thrown out the seismic shove, and they still get
Straight
it
weg.
anyway. Ignar goes down through the Hextech ultimate.
Wow.
The Dragon is
Die müssen jetzt
secured.
unbedingt einen Fight forcen, ja.
Dignitas, they deny the soul, but they
Weil dieser Player muss im Nash enden
They
für
want more.
Sentinels,
Impact
sonst
just
ist
spawned.
es
He has
sehr
United.
disgusting.
This is big for Sentinels if they find it. The
Oh, Hui, du
seismic
bist
shove
so
goes
schlecht.
wide. The Zenith blade goes wide.
Wow, er geht da rein.
The
Okay.
flanking Theory. Can they take him down?
Okay,
the Shell
Freeman.
it onto him. Dignitas just can't get in range. Darkwings is unstoppable.
Andere Hell hat noch
takes
Flash.
down XU, and Sentinels with a man advantage will take this team fight. Rahel lives under the turret, and Sentinels find an ace.
Oh, unfortunate there for Dignitas.
Ja, Rachel braucht trotzdem, also er hat wieder richtige Goldspritze bekommen, er braucht unbedingt einen Seekers. Ihr versteht nicht, wie dringend er einen Seekers braucht. Er hat wieder kein Flash jetzt.
And ultimate. Let's see how this one ends. The Leona ultimate doesn't even connect, or the E, but it's Rahel. I'm wondering if Dignitas just turns.
Was zur Hölle macht Sentinels da?
Onto Rahel.
Waren die Nash noch?
Running down, like if
Also da war noch keine Zeri-Base drin.
Rahel. I think they have an actual decent chance of killing him, but they split up and end up kind of getting full wiped.
It's so tough because if you run up there, you're also running into the Shen, who's just going to taunt the entire team at that point. So tough for Dig in that spot. Great for Sentinels. They will win the fight. They'll get the Baron. They're denied Dragon Soul for now, but it's still 25 minutes into the game, and that gold lead is right back in their favor. 6.6K for Sentinels.
Yep, it's back. But you never know.
Ah, das ist Seekers. Okay, Freeman.
Doing this.
Okay, so back to that movie analogy. What
Freeman.
movie where the third one is a roller coaster of quality?
You're not sure if it's good or bad until the end.
Can't quite decide. Either way, I mean, so for a team like Sentinels, we've been talking a lot from the Dignitas side. I think it's exciting to talk about rookie top players. I think it's exciting to talk about a team that's on a comeback journey, potentially finding an upset here. But from the Sentinels side, like, this is a team that was top 3 in lock-in, got worse in spring in placement. They're really hoping to turn things around. I feel like they've shown signs of like the ability to get these gold leads, but what I'm still looking for them now is the ability to kind of close out.
It's surprising that they've had such good early games and such mediocre mid games. Also, to our previous movie question, someone in production said Shrek 3, which I think is a really good call.
Shrek 3.
Highly specific. Like the third movie, you're not really sure if it's good or not.
Yeah,
until
yeah.
the end. Yeah.
If you get the references, I think it's a better movie. But like you show it to a kid now, they're gonna be like, what is this? Who are the Backstreet Boys? I don't think they referenced them, but they definitely did a lot of references in those movies.
10 kills on
Boys are pretty old at this point now, aren't they? I could have gone like, who's staying? No, that's about as old. Man, I feel old now. Okay, well, either way.
You're the youngest
I am.
of us.
I am.
Yeah.
I gotta live up to that. Hey, fellow kids. Any fans of K-pop out there? And was it Skibbity Toilet? That's the other one. I think those are the two. Those are the two.
Kangas, bitte.
You're nailing it.
Sentinels right now taking the tier 2 turret of the top lane. As again with the Baron buff, I imagine that the structures will all be falling on the side of Dignitas.
It's still pretty hard to end against Ziggs and Trundle if they dive in. Oh, quick little pick on
nice little
Darkwings.
pick. Yeah, Darkwings threw out the Weaver's Wall to try and go through
Ja,
mid
okay, ist nicht
lane.
mehr winnable jetzt. Jetzt haben sie schon gegrieft. Darkwings hat noch Flash ab.
Too much. Keeps his mid laner alive, takes down the
Ja, Flickerblade auf 2 ist irgendwie komisch, ne? Statt
That's Rahel on a rampage.
beispielsweise hier, wie heißt das Scheiß?
Alive.
Fiend Hunter.
They take down the enemy mid laner.
Aber da wird sich schon was gedacht haben.
Still trading up here. Now they're going to full commit on to FBI under the turret. He's trying to get back to the safety of his team, but he just can't do it. They're focused on Huhi. The AD carry traded for the support as Hambach still has the GA available, but the turret's going to go down. GA is popped. It's X2 and Palafox versus 3, and they're holding the line for now. Sentinels will back off.
They're just going to take the gold, go back. Rahel
Ja, also mehr ist, wie gesagt, ich sehe es schon.
generating massive
Trotzdem
amounts of
ankommen.
turrets that he's
Ja,
carrying. There's always a threat to carry the extended fights, but he had no ultimate left, so they didn't want to continue the chase as Sentinels get another small win.
Small win, but a definitive win here.
Yeah.
8.4K in the lead at this point. 45 seconds still that Dragon. So it feels like a walk in the park unless some crazy happens for Dignitas.
For
this
sure.
game is going to end at this Dragon. You have to imagine.
And you can really see Rahel with the embarrassment of riches, just sitting on a Seeker's arm guard. The one time the game did get a little bit scary was when he got killed. So now he'll be able to buy the time for Impact's ultimate to come in if he does get jumped off, as long as he has that split second to be able to press the Seekers.
Yeah.
And they are in position.
I know we made a point of it
Go.
earlier.
Oh,
Actually,
Hui.
he has to flash early. He's trying to get some deep vision down, and the Trundle Pillar will punish that attempt. So no flash now for Sentinel support. See if it even matters. Again, they have so much gold in their pockets. Like one flash on the least valuable member, you have to imagine. As Rahel just pops the ultimate, jumps straight in onto XU. Not enough damage to follow up, and if they can just prevent the fight from continuing, Dignitas are trying to cut away, but...
Ja, Rachel hat halt immer feiner und die benutzt halt immer die Spells auf was anderes. Rachel, wow, schöner Play von Darkwings. Ja, GG.
And the dominoes continue to fall. A double to Rahel. Hambach on a rampage, and Sentinels putting the final touches on this Game 3 with a decisive teamfight win.
Ist geil mit Enchanter, aber es kommt aber drauf an, was du brauchst.
14 kills here for Rahel, but I really feel like Impact put his mark on this game.
31-13 at 29 minutes into the game. What a crazy way to close out the series. Sentinels off the back of a jungler, just refusing to step down, and Rahel with a carry performance will take Game 3 and end with a win. The debut of Summer Split.